Real-time news on the hour, every hour.
Good evening, good afternoon, good night, no matter where you are in the world. If you're trading, we hope you're trading well and enjoying the beginning of this alt season. Today in the news, Bitcoin overtakes Visa's market cap as it breaks through $500 billion for the first time, while BlackRock, the $7 billion asset manager, is said to be looking for a vice president and head of blockchain. While all eyes have been on Bitcoin, it's actually Ethereum's chance. Ethereum has broken through $700. And while most analysts say this is the breakout that we should be looking for, some traders have already started to celebrate the next alt season. And then later in the show, Justin Sun, the man who made an announcement about making an announcement, is making an announcement right here on our show. And as soon as that's done, we'll be taking a closer look at the case between the SEC and XRP and Ripple. Is it time to buy, hold, or dump your XRP? We'll be taking a closer look and talking to David Gokhshtein, who's come out quite vocal in support of XRP. He says this all will pass. We're going to get into his mind and find out exactly what he's thinking. Then, because it's alt season, we're going to be taking a look at what altcoins you guys should be buying. We're going to be talking to Bitcoin Brown. He's a big alt trader. He's a reserve. He loves reserve. He loves Coty. He loves the other altcoins. We're going to be speaking to him and finding out exactly what he's buying in this alt season. And then we're introducing a new segment, a segment all about small caps under $10 million. We're going to be looking at those uncut gems, the ones that you can spot at $1 and $2 million. And we're going to be bringing those to your attention, bringing the teams on right through the week. So we've got a big show for you here today, and we've got a big week for you. Tomorrow, we've got Charles Hoskinson coming on to talk about his predictions for 2021, not only about Cardano, but about a whole lot of other tokens. We've also got Elio from Elio Trades coming in to talk about what he's seeing for 2021. And I've got two surprise projects for you, both under $10 million, both that I think are going to go to over $100 million market cap. If you like that, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We'll be right back after the break to start off with the show. You're watching CryptoBanter.com.
Crypto Banter is the world's first interactive social cast for the crypto community. Get the latest news, views, interviews, and live conversations with crypto enthusiasts from around the world. This is where you call in, you make the show, and you bring the banter. That's CryptoBanter.com, where you talk crypto.
Yeah, that's CryptoBanter.com. It's the only show in the world where we tell you to call in to talk crypto, because we know that you guys want to banter. We know that you banter all day on Twitter and on Telegram. And what we're trying to do is bring some of that banter right here to an audio visual medium where you guys can meet some of the biggest names, and you can actually be talking to some of the biggest names in crypto, sharing your bags, telling us what you're buying, and basically providing you with a one-stop streaming service so that you can make better trading decisions. We started this station to bring live information to traders. And speaking of live information, let's get right into the news headlines today. And I guess the big news headline is, of course, that Bitcoin has now officially eclipsed the market cap of Visa and has gone over $500 billion, $500 billion market cap. I guess it's not really an asset that anybody can afford to ignore anymore. And the more it grows, the more or the less people can afford to ignore it. I picked up this little interview today from CNN. It just shows that the mainstream media have just started covering this. If you compare this coverage to the coverage that we had in 2017, this is just the beginning. Let's have a look at what Anthony Scaramucci on CNN.
Sounds like you're not betting against Bitcoin as well. It crashed through 20,000 today. How sustainable is that?
Well, this thing has a tendency to crash up if you really study Bitcoin. After I got fired from the White House and returned to my job, that's one of the great things when you own your own company. When you're fired, you can go back to work. I spent 2.5 years, 3 years studying Bitcoin, analyzing other digital currencies. Right now, this thing is crashing upwards, so it is due for a correction. And these corrections can be violent. They can be 20 to 50%. So you have to be very cautious. But I will say this, if you took $1 and you put 99 cents of it in cash and 1 penny in Bitcoin over the last 10 years, that asset allocation strategy outperformed the S&P 500. And so Bitcoin's best days are ahead of it, but it's going to be volatile, and I think people have to be prepared for that.
My heart sings every time I see something like that. I met Anthony Scaramucci about 2 years ago in the Miami blockchain conference, and started speaking to him about converting him to Bitcoin and getting some of his fund into Bitcoin. And I guess 2 years later, after a lot of pressure from everyone around him, he has finally done it, and he's done it not a minute too soon. Because if you look at what else is happening today in the news, there was news today that BlackRock, one of the world's biggest asset managers, in fact, BlackRock manages about $7 billion worth of assets, is now looking for a VP to lead and drive demand for the firm's crypto offerings. Now, I guess that's the biggest sign we ever needed to know that the big institutions were coming in. BlackRock, they write a whole lot of the ETFs. In fact, they manage the US government's ETF program. So BlackRock buying into this is no small thing. And if you look at what they actually said in the announcement, the first thing is it confirmed that BlackRock has about $7 trillion under management. But furthermore, it says candidates should be able to devise and articulate fundamental valuation methodologies for crypto assets to evaluate game theory and decentralized governance models associated with blockchain technologies. Now, that gives us a lot of information, a lot of hints as to where this whole thing is going. They're obviously looking to create products. They're not looking to buy Bitcoin, but they're looking to create products. And that is, of course, a fundamental part of the market structure for Bitcoin to explode. And of course, Bitcoin is already exploding. Bitcoin exploded right through the all-time high over the weekend. I'm sure you all saw that. Unless you guys were sleeping under a rock, you would have seen that it shot up on the 25th of December. It was at 25,000. On the 26th of December, it was 26,000. On the 27th, it was 27,000 and went right through to 28,000, of course, except then taking a little pullback. But while all eyes have been on Bitcoin, I think it's time, like everybody else is saying, to look at Ethereum. Ethereum's had a breakout. It's finally broken right through the $700 level. And that, for most traders, has signified the beginning of the alt season. Now, we're going to look at what this alt season actually means. We're going to look at the DeFi protocols that are building on Ethereum and why this breakout does mean that there is an alt season coming up right ahead. But before we get to that, if you followed me on Twitter, you would have known that yesterday I made an announcement on my Twitter. I made an announcement that said, I have an announcement. I want to announce that Justin Sun just announced that he will be making an announcement tomorrow. And that, of course, came off the back of Justin Sun's tweet that said, a big announcement for TRX or for Tron coming soon. So without any further ado, I've got Justin Sun with me, and hopefully he will be making a big announcement right here on our show today. Justin, welcome to Crypto Banter.
Hi, so nice to meet you. Hello,
nice
everyone.
to see you. Nice to see you again. Justin, you came out yesterday with one of your big tweets that made the announcement about the announcement. The announcement is coming out, and a big announcement for coming to Tron. And I realized then that we haven't spoken for a while. We haven't caught up about what's going on at Tron, and I'd love to have a catch up with you. But I really want to know what this big announcement is all about.
Yes, I think this announcement is about one of the breakthroughs we have in the Asian markets. Some people seen I announced WBTC is live on Tron today, and we start to mint the first WBTC on Tron, but this is not the announcement we want to make. So I think we will have this announcement be ready in the following week. I think this is like one of the most exciting moment for our Tron community. And of course, we have more development is coming.
Is this announcement linked to DeFi?
It's not related to DeFi. I think it's more related to partnership.
To partnerships, and not specifically partnerships in the DeFi space, but just general Tron partnerships.
Yes, it's general partnerships. Yeah.
All right, Justin, let's take a step back and look at the development, the things that you're most excited about on the Tron blockchain. You've spoken a lot about the WBTC, and I guess that is bullish because of the DeFi elements that surround the WBTC. Tell us a little bit about what's exciting you about Tron at the moment. To the outsider, it kind of looks like Ethereum's taking all the limelight. I know you're not going to let that happen. Tell us what's happening at Tron.
Yeah, sure, definitely. So I think we have several very exciting things. First of all is DeFi. And if you take a look at like the assets on Tron, BTC on TRC20, we have already issued 10,000 and 15,000 BTC. So today market cap is around almost $400 million. And also, of course, we have nearly 7 billion US dollar worth USDT on Tron network. Tron has overtaken Ethereum to be the largest network for the USDT transactions. And of course, we have new assets, WBTC, ETH come on the Tron platform. And also we have seen the new record trading volume on Just Swap. And also, of course, we newly launched Just Lend. It's a decentralized lending platform by Just Team on Tron network as well. So I think this year, besides Ethereum, Tron is definitely accomplished the most on DeFi and on decentralized smart contract platform. If you talk about specific about public chain, so I think there's a lot of the extremely exciting things happen on the Tron platform. And also today, I also do a little bit calculation. I think right now the assets issue on the Tron platform is 3 times even more than the market cap of TRX itself. I think TRX and the Tron platform is the only public protocol in the world has more assets on its platform even than the market cap of the token itself. Even Ethereum, these times, Ethereum is the market cap of Ether is much more than the assets on the Ethereum platform. And we have lots of competitors. It's more like zombie chain. On their chain, there's no other assets at all. But if you take all the Tron base assets, it's even 3 times more than TRX market cap. So that's why making me very bullish about TRX. And I believe right now TRX is extremely undervalued.
Justin, if I look 1 year forward, so I look to the end of 2021, and we have this discussion again at the end of 2021, where are we going to see Tron? Is Tron going to be a DeFi competitor to Ethereum? Is it going to be a gaming blockchain? Is it where will you find your niche? And the reason why I ask that is because if we watch Ethereum now, it looks like DeFi is all the buzz on Ethereum, and it looks like Ethereum is really getting that network effect. There's a lot of VC money. There's a lot of investor money going into these protocols. They're all building around on Ethereum. My question is Tron trying to compete in that space? And if Tron is trying to compete in that space, how are you going to compete? How do you break that network effect and get more people using Tron and less people building or starting projects on Ethereum?
Yes, I think we are extremely friendly to Ethereum and the project based on Ethereum. I believe like Ethereum definitely is a very good project, but make no mistake, Ethereum only have 1 million transactions per day. So no matter who make those transactions, Ethereum has this kind of the limitation, only 1 million transactions per day. So right now, there's lots of the dApps and DeFi projects like tokens, like Chainlink, like everybody is compete to get this like 1 million transaction per day. So like when everybody bids for the transaction, Ethereum transaction become extremely expensive. So right now, I understand you ask like all the different institutions, developers is getting into Ethereum, trying to build on Ethereum. But at the end of the day, they will find out Ethereum can only handle 1 million transactions per day. So how they can find like, if they want to do, for example, even some projects, they want to have like, even for one project, they want to have 1 million transactions per day. Where they can go, they can only go into a Tron network. Tron, we can handle like over 50 million like transactions per day. Right now, our transaction is only 2 million to 3 million per day. It's not like even like 5% of the Tron's cap for the transactions. So that's why you have seen a lot of the multi-chain compatible tokens. Their traffic has started to migrate from Ethereum to Tron. For example, let's take USDT as an example. So USDT once become like the largest application on Ethereum. It's take like 300K transaction on Ethereum. It's 1/3 of all the Ethereum transaction. Right now, the USDT on Ethereum is still stay at 200K to 300K per day, but Tron USDT transaction on Tron has become 400K to 500K per day.
But
so right now,
what are people doing with these USDT on Tron? I mean, I understand more or less what these people are doing on Ethereum because, you know, there's all the DeFi protocols, there's the lending protocols, and they all in some shape or form use USDT. But on Tron, what is driving this volume? What are the applications that are driving this volume? Is it just trading on exchanges? What is it?
Yeah, there's numerous applications on Tron right now. First of all, I think Tron has become the settlement layer for different kind of the exchanges, OTC desk, and all the channels for USDT. For example, today, if you want to move the USDT between Binance to Huobi, to Poloniex, to to FTX, all different kind of the exchange. USDT on Tron is your best choice. It's zero fee, instant transaction speed, and also lots of the people, I even know some of the companies, when they make their payrolls, they use USDT on Tron because this is instant speed and no transaction fee. So basically, I think right now, all the user case on USDT right now is based on Tron. Only the Ethereum DeFi-based user case is using basically the protocol on Ethereum. So that's why, for example, I have another two example. One is about AMPL. So AMPL is very famous rebase currency on Ethereum. They also start to launch the AMPL on Tron on January. I think we will start to see a lot of the AMPL users will also migrate to Tron network as well. And also we are trying to collaborate with Compound team on building this kind of the Tron Compound compatible migration on Compound as well. So we are happy to collaborate on all the developers building on the Ethereum to solve the scalability problem for them, and that their users can enjoy cheaper, much cheaper and high scalability solution, and without even knowing they are using Tron or Ethereum network in the future.
So building a real future. Now, guys, if you are watching this, hit the like, subscribe, and the bell button. And the reason for that is because when you do that, it tells YouTube's algorithm that you like this content, and then it grows our distribution, and it literally pumps your bags, as Ivan on Tech says. So this is your opportunity. This is your opportunity to get more people coming onto the show. Hit the button, hit the like, then hit the subscribe, then hit the bell, because over the next couple of days, we're going to be coming to you with a lot more programming, and it's not going to be at the same time every day. If you hit the bell, hit the like, hit the subscribe, you'll be notified when we come to you with new content. So Justin, I'm going to go back to my question with you. And again, my question is, it's a question that's to you, but it actually refers to a lot of the other blockchains. You've got Bitcoin that has the network effect. And one thing that we're seeing is that none of the other money or payment or store of value, not Litecoin, not BCH, and no one else is able to compete with Bitcoin's network effect. Now, when I look at Ethereum, Ethereum kind of doing the same thing where a lot of money is on Ethereum, a lot of DeFi projects on Ethereum. Now, I know you're a very smart guy, and I'm very keen to understand your strategy to get more people building more projects on Tron.
Yes, definitely. I think first of all, we are not like compete with Bitcoin. I think we are more like a complement to Bitcoin. So I want to give you like an example. So right now today, Bitcoin price is skyrocketed, right? So everybody wants to trade Bitcoin, move Bitcoin between different exchanges. And right now, the Bitcoin network is extremely busy. So sometimes when I trade Bitcoin, I send Bitcoin to the exchange. It waits me for like an hour for my Bitcoin to arrive on the exchange. And sometimes I want to sell at the peak, but when I deposit the money into the exchange, so the price already like going down. So that's why this year we also invented BTC ERC20. So right now it's already live on Poloniex, KuCoin, MXC. So in the future, if you want to trade on those exchanges, you don't need to deposit Bitcoin on the Bitcoin chain. You can just deposit Bitcoin on TRC20. It will support by major exchanges, I think, very soon. So you will enjoy the instant transaction speed with zero fee. So in the future, I think in the future, because Bitcoin right now only have 100K to 200K transaction cap every day. So no matter how like Bitcoin price maybe go to $1 million, but you can still have 100K transaction per day. So how people move Bitcoin in the future, I think, is through Tron network. So you can send, right now we already have 15K Bitcoin on Tron. Maybe we're gonna have like 100K, even 1 million Bitcoin on Tron in the future.
Okay, so I mean, again, that's gearing you up for DeFi, for synthetic assets, building essentially a similar infrastructure to the one that Ethereum has. Now, you mentioned that you see the future around Tron. When you look at the blockchain space today, you see some other chains. Some have been around for a while, chains like Cardano, chains like EOS, others maybe slightly newer players, chains like Elrond, chains like Algorand. How do you see the blockchains differentiating themselves? You know, everyone's saying that they can do faster speeds. Elrond is talking about 16,000 transactions per second. Algorand come out also with very big numbers. How do you see the race being won? Who wins this race? How do you win the race?
Yes, sure. First of all, I know like all the competitor chain like founders you talk about. I respect them. I believe like every blockchain has contributed numerous on this like open source protocol. For example, like Cardano, like Algorand, like everybody is contribute a brand new like mechanism in the blockchain, which makes the blockchain definitely better in the future. And also for Tron protocol, we also learn from like every competitor chain. If they have like some innovation aspect, we definitely gonna learn from them and make Tron blockchain like even better. But right now, I believe Tron is definitely the front runner in the public chain. First of all, I think the most important thing in the public chain right now is the assets issue on the blockchain. So right now, we have USDT on Tron blockchain is nearly $7 billion. It's 1/3 of the Ethereum. And our competitor now like even like barely have like $10 million on their blockchain. And also, if you see Bitcoin, Ethereum have like around like 100K WBTC right now on Ethereum. And Tron right now we have 15K BTC, but continue to grow like a lightning speed. And also we also have like Ethereum start to migrate to Tron as well. And we also have like BTT, JST, Wing, like some all different kind of the ALTCOINS grow on the Tron platform as well. You can only see this kind of the ecosystem on Ethereum, but I think Tron is definitely the second one. And our other competitors, they don't have this kind of the ecosystem, no matter like USDT, stablecoin, and also BTC, ETH, but also they don't have like DeFi ecosystem. They don't have like this kind of the ALTCOIN grow on their ecosystem. So that's definitely why I'm super bullish. I think right now Ethereum and Bitcoin, the price increased a lot. They have reached their cap on the scalability. And after that, a lot of the investor, developer and the institution will find out actually Tron is the place to move.
All right, I want to break away from a Tron discussion. I want to ask you some more general market discussions. First of all, do you think that now we're going to get into alt season? We saw Ethereum breaking up above 700. We haven't really had an alt season. Yes, some of the alts have been climbing up pretty steadily, but we haven't had that 2017 retail mania where people are climbing into altcoins. It's happening every now and then. Do you think that this is it? Have we broken into altcoins territory? The reason why I ask you is I went earlier on. I want to show you this because I think it's a very interesting analysis to look at. So I went and I looked at 2017 versus 2020, or where we are today. That's the Bitcoin dominance chart, and that kind of shows, of course, when altcoins are running. And you can see there's been a first top, and then there was a breakdown, and that's when we're starting a breakdown. And then I compared that to 2017, and in 2017. Almost exactly to the day, we had a Bitcoin break, all-time high, and then the Bitcoin dominance started to break down, and that led us into probably one of the most rampant altcoin runs of all time. Do you think that we're back there now?
Yes, I definitely believe what you just say. I think use this kind of the matrix of the Bitcoin dominance is very smart. Actually, recently, right, Bitcoin dominance rate, I think is around like 70%. But I think at the end of the day, in the alt seasons, Bitcoin dominance rate gonna drop to like around 30%. So that's why I definitely believe right now we are starting to get into the alt seasons. So that's why this is, of course, not like investment advice, but I believe ALTCOIN will in the future. Right now, if you still have some money, you want to invest into cryptocurrency industry, I think Bitcoin is definitely the #1 choice. But if you want to even have more returns, then invest into the Bitcoin. I definitely think ALTCOIN is the choice.
We're going to talk about that. I want to break it down into two discussions. One discussion is around the big themes for 2021. And the reason why I want to ask that discussion is because I think that you were the first one to go public with DeFi. When we looked at the branding that you did at Consensus, and I think it was Consensus 2018 or 2018, where you branded DeFi. And I mean, that was, again, before DeFi was even a big thing. If I were to ask you, in 2021, if there were going to be a few themes in Bitcoin, not specific coins, but actual themes like oracles, DeFi, etc., what would you be looking at as the most exciting themes for 2021?
Yeah, I think there is two topics is extremely important. One, of course, is DeFi. We have doing this for almost 2 years. I think right now we're gonna see a lot of the network effects happen on DeFi. I think that's the first thing. And then the second thing, I think this kind of the cross-chain like asset movement is also very interesting. So, for example, we have seen this year USDT like migrate from Omni, right, to Tron and Ethereum. Right now starting to mainly like based on Tron network. I think USDT is right now is the #3 token. I think Bitcoin is going to be the next. Bitcoin gonna be like massively like move to Ethereum and the Tron network. I think we already seen like grow from Ethereum, grow from 0 to 100K. 100K is a big amount, and also we have seen Tron grow from 0 to 15K right now, and also I think you have seen like Grayscale also grow from 0 to right now it's almost like $10 billion. So basically
14 billion today. First time they're on $14 billion.
Yeah, exactly. So I think this is also a kind of the migration, migrate to Wall Street, right? So because the Bitcoin on Grayscale, you can't move them at all. So it's also migrate to another world. So you will start to see Bitcoin is start to migrate to different kind of area, migrate to Tron, migrate to Ethereum, migrate to Wall Street,
So DeFi, and then coins moving across chains are the themes. We are running out of time, but I do want to ask you a question. I want you to tell me your 3 or 4 best tokens, but you can't use any tokens that you're involved in. So no Tron, no BTT, no Bitcoin, because we all know about Bitcoin. But I'm trying to get a feel for what else Justin Sun is looking at in his portfolio. We call the section "What's in Your Wallet." Love to know what kind of investments you'd be looking at buying or you'd be investing in. Give us some names.
Yeah, sure. First of all, I think, of course, I don't have like mainly my investment is Bitcoin and also is the Tron ecosystem token. And also, of course, we have some like partnership from different people. For example, I have lots of exchange token like BNB, HT, and OKB. The reason is very simple because I always have this kind of the model is like buying the things you use all the time, you know. So for example, I also have like one stock I used to buy is SI stock. So it's a Silvergate stock because I use like Silvergate sometimes. So if I use something, I gonna buy them. So but of course I use Tron the most. Yeah, that's like one of my model. And also I love like one of the theme.
I want names. I want actual token names. And I think I want to phrase the question to you like this. If I were to ask you to buy tokens that you were going to hold for the whole of 2021 without selling them based on the themes that you're choosing, what would the tokens be? Give me three.
So right now, I think if we choose like one of the token not like Tron related to, I think it's BNB. So we hold also
BNB. Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, at over $35, surely you don't think that BNB is going to 10x itself. And there are many 10x opportunities in the market now, right? I mean, this altcoin season is running. BNB, I love the token. And for full disclosure, I hold BNB, but I don't think there's a 10x there. I think it'll just continue to go up. The same thing with the FTX, the FTT token. I love the token, but it's not going to 10x.
Okay, I will give you another name. So
that's what I want to hear.
I think first of all, I love one of your theme. So it's more like a small market cap token. So it's below like $10 million. So I think if you go into small market cap like hunting and really find the gem, you know, you can really possible to make 10x the.
So what's that gem, Justin? What is that gem? Who is the gem? Give me a name. Come on, everyone's here listening and wanting to know what you would put your money into.
So right now, I think one of the theme I think is good. It's also so I'm not like having any pre-mine token. It's Sun. So SUN. So some people think this use my name, but I don't have like extra like any kind of token. I mine the token with the community. And also the Sun token is extremely low market cap. Right now it's extremely
what is the market cap of Sun token? What is the market cap?
Let me check. I think right now it's definitely around like 10 million something. It's
okay, so around 10 million. Okay, we're gonna hold it. Okay, give me one more before we go. We are running out of time. We're actually over time, but because it's you and because I really want one more token from you, nothing that you're involved in, unless of course you're holding it. I don't mind if you're holding it, but I want to know what else to buy.
I see a lot of Korean community here, so I gonna name like Steam, STEEM, because I think Steam has a very active community and also extremely popular in Korea. So I watch this every day. I even use Google translators to watch all the posts in Korean. So I think Steam is one of the gems, and also with a very low market cap. Let me see. Steam right now is it's 30 million. So 30 million.
30 million. Yeah. Okay, so it has gone up a little bit. Justin, before I let you go, XRP and the decision of the SEC to prosecute or to press charges against the Ripple company and against Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larsen. What are your views there? Do you think that it's time to sell XRP? Do you think that the SEC is going out to make a case?
Yeah, sure, definitely. So first of all, as everybody know, like I work for Ripple for like 1.5 years.
That's what I'm asking you.
Yeah. But definitely, I believe, even though I mean, I definitely understand Ripple didn't have lots of the crypto friends in this space, so that's why a lot of people is making fun of like XRP during this tough time. But definitely, I believe SEC are pursuing prosecutions against XRP is not good for the crypto innovations. And I definitely want to support the XRP army and the XRP community in these tough times. For myself, I also have lots of the XRP back in the old days, so that's why I want to like support them to survive in this tough time. Even I have started to see a lot of the regulated exchange delisting XRP. But I definitely want to offer my support here on them. And also, we all know we have a good relationship with Poloniex. And I also want to express the Poloniex support on XRP.
So you're not gonna be delisting XRP anytime soon off Poloniex.
Of course not. We are one of the first exchange to support the XRP. And we want to continue our support on that.
Amazing. Well, another person that's come out in support of the XRP community is David Gottstein. David, we got you back on our show. Justin, we're going to let you go because I know you're in Hong Kong and I know it's very late. I think it's probably 11 p.m. in Hong Kong. Thank you for coming on Crypto Banter. It's been amazing having you on. Good to catch up. We look forward to 2021 with Tron and we'll keep an eye on what's going on.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Alrighty, so for our viewers who have been living under a rock, as you all know, the SEC filed charges against the Ripple company and against Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson and the founders around the sale of a security. The SEC is claiming that the original Ripple sale was a sale of unregistered securities. Ripple, of course, is fighting back and saying, no, it was a currency. And at the same time, the token price has taken a hit, and understandably so. The token price, which was at around 60 cents just after the big airdrop that these guys had, the Flare airdrop, went all the way down to sub 24 cents. It then had a bounce, and some people are calling it a dead cat bounce, went back to 38 cents, and then it went back down, and it's trading at around 30 cents now. Now, while some of the community was split, there was one guy, David Gottstein. He came on, and he was always in support of the XRP. He was very vocal about his support, buying and telling us that this all will pass. David, I'm interested to know, what makes you so confident to keep buying XRP?
For me personally, I just, when you do research on, I've been in XRP for a while. When you do research, you feel confident. Like, I'm not listening to Ernie telling me, or Oscar the Grouch telling me, what I should get into. So at the end of the day, I feel confident. You look at the Kin case, right, with the SEC going after them, at the end of the day, this is going to be probably a slap on the wrist. We're going to take $50 million from you, and XRP is going to continue, doing what XRP does. That's really it.
All right, I'm dying to know what our viewers are thinking. If you are here, leave us a like, leave us a subscribe, leave us some comments. Tell us what you're thinking about the XRP. If you want to call in, all you need to do is go to cryptobanter.com. That's www.cryptobanter.com. And hit the call now button. That'll bring you directly into the studio. You can join this conversation with me and David. You can tell us what you think about XRP. But first, guys, hit the subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell button. Over the next couple of days, we are going to come to you with a lot more content that's not scheduled as these market events happen, market moving events happen. And if you want to get notifications, you've got to hit all three. And at the same time, that's what tells YouTube's algorithm to pump our bags and to make crypto keep running. All right, so let's go back to it. So, David, you say you did a whole lot of research, and it makes you confident around XRP. Now, I've looked at the SEC allegations. I think we all have looked at the SEC allegations. Ripple have been quite slow to come back and respond to the allegations. I think we'll get a lot of those answers in due course. But from the picture that the SEC paints, they're saying that XRP or the tokens are controlled primarily by a centralized entity. That centralized entity has shareholders that are not the token holders. They're saying that the tokens were sold to the investing public not only were the tokens that were sold from the company treasury to fund the marketing of the company, but also the founders sold tokens in the open market. And when they sold those tokens to the open market, the SEC are claiming, and again, these are allegations, none of these allegations have been confirmed, but they're claiming that the use of they were using market makers to keep the price up so that they could sell and they could benefit the company and benefit themselves in selling this. And the numbers are huge. The numbers are, 400 million plus for Chris Larsen, 150 million plus for Brad Garlinghouse, and of course, billions of dollars that have come from the Ripple treasury sold into the market to fund this company. How do you think that Ripple get out of this? And I want to go back to what you said. You said at the beginning here that EOS paid a fine and King paid a fine. If they could have paid a fine, why not just pay the fine and avoid all the bad publicity?
Because if you look at the lawsuit, they could have settled already. They're not settling. They want to go at it. I mean, if you read the lawsuit, they could have been out of this already. They could have settled and said, "Here you go. Here's money. We'll continue to do business." I think they really do believe that they have a case, and they're going right at it with the SEC. That's really it. I mean, they want to go ahead. When this is all said and done, we're gonna know how we can operate in this space. So it'll benefit everybody else. Whatever happens with Ripple, it'll benefit everybody else because we'll have clarity in the United States on how to go ahead and have projects here and how they can go about doing business in the United States of America.
Look, I must say, as a crypto holder, I'm very much against the SEC. I'm very much against how the SEC, and in fact, the whole American legislature has been dealing with cryptocurrencies. I think they've been slow to respond. I think they're using very, very, very outdated laws. If I'm not mistaken, I think the Howey test comes from somewhere in the 1930s. And that's
1933. Come on, 1933.
1933, and that's the law that they're using to tell us whether tokens are securities or not securities. I mean, that's a law that's 80 years old, or there or thereabout. Now, the one part that the few parts that I'm struggling to reconcile. So you do have a centralized entity here. The centralized entity is selling tokens and putting the money into their own treasury to fund the operations and the marketing of this company, which also uses XRP in some of its use cases. But at the time when the token was launched, none of the tokens were used in any of these applications. How do you think that Ripple can respond to something like that?
Again, when people say centralized, Ripple comes out with a report monthly, an order report telling you exactly what they're doing. I mean, if you look at the stats, I don't have them in front of me, but they literally give you a detailed stat about exactly what they're doing with XRP. When people say centralized, Ripple is centralized. I don't believe XRP is centralized. So again, we constantly get into that talk. You hear it on crypto Twitter. Ripple is centralized. Ripple is centralized. You know what? When you run a company that, like Ripple, you have to be centralized. You can't be decentralized. Here's my take. Forget about all this stuff right now. Why did it take 8 years?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that the SEC have been very slow to respond. I think the fact that they issued this and then a day later or 2 days later, Jay Clayton submits his resignation. I mean, I definitely think that this was his goodbye.
Okay. You don't have to like Ripple. You don't have to like XRP. My thing is here. It took you 8 years to go ahead and submit something. So for 8 years, investors were allowed to go and buy XRP. So if you had a case or there was some case out there, it should have been brought on sooner, not 8 years. 8 years you allowed people to get it. And then the announcement comes out and Ripple's price goes from, I don't remember where it was, but let's say it was 55 cents all the way to, 24 cents or 25 cents. So, I mean, who got hurt here? Me, the investor, others that invested in XRP because of the news. You had Brad who came out first, which I didn't agree with that. I would have told Brad to hold off, until the SEC announced it, or maybe the same day they both announced it. But the investor got hurt at the end of the day.
I think what Brad did was a very smart and old media trick. And what he did was he knew the allegations were coming. And so what he did was he wanted to take control of the narrative. And so what he came out, he said, look, we know the SEC is coming out or something. We want to drive the narrative. So by the time you get the SEC's thing, there is a narrative in the market. And you've been anchored with this narrative in the market. And I think that was the strategy that he employed. Now, what I think is going to happen here, my personal view here, is that there's nothing they can do now because the XRP ledger actually is, for all intents and purposes, very decentralized. Trading on XRP is also very decentralized. And I do think that the problem here is not around the token or the protocol, because I think that will continue to live forever. I think the problem here is around the Ripple company. I think the problem that may happen is around the Ripple company. And the Ripple company is the one developing all the cool applications that are using the XRP token and the XRP ledger. And I think that's what may hit the community the most.
Again, I go back to it. 8 years. You had 8 years to go ahead and smack Ripple. You didn't. So to me, hey, Matt, what's going on? Maddie's in here.
We got Matty Greenspan. Matty, I take it you're calling to speak about XRP.
Yeah. Well, I saw David on, so I decided to call in and apologize in advance about the background noise. My whole family's here. And I agree with you, David. Jay Clayton is the worst. He farted obnoxiously and left the room. The issue here is not about right or wrong. The issue here is about the law and how it's being dealt with. As soon as anybody from the SEC labeled XRP as a security, in the eyes of the courts, they have to, and of the exchanges, of course, which is more important, they need to take that seriously. Bitstamp has already put out a notification that they're going to be delisting XRP. Of course, Bitstamp is a key liquidity provider for many other exchanges as well, so that can have a knock-on effect. I've already received notification from eToro, where I'm trading, that they're considering to delist XRP. For me as an investor, I'm out, man. Right or wrong, I love XRP. But I can't hold it if it's going to be delisted from the exchange that I'm holding it on.
So you've touched on two
things. I mean, I agree with that. Like, I don't like. For me personally, like, I'm in a position where I don't have to sell. But if I personally feel like if you're in a position where like you're about to, go do whatever you want. At the end of the day, this doesn't scare me. This listing or halting, because most of the traffic is being done overseas. Like, it's not being done in the United States of America. For me personally, I just want to see what happens with this case, because it'll give us clarity for the companies operating in the United States. So that's why it's more important for me. Everybody says, "Oh, you're an XRP fanboy." No, I'm not. I like XRP, but for me, I like what they're doing. They're trying to get clarity on the situation where they could have settled and said, "All right, fine, we'll pay whatever it is, 100 mil. Here you go. Let us continue to operate."
No doubt.
Sit on the sidelines. Sit on the sidelines and watch and sell your tokens and buy other tokens that don't have this risk associated with them. My personal view, and it's regardless.
Look, I think that they could settle. I mean, the XRP is not a security. You know that. I know that. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with this case before I start to get involved and
Matty,
start buying more.
I want to ask you a question. I mean, you've got Coinbase, which is rumored to be listing next year. That came out about a week ago. This morning, I read an article that eToro also may be planning a listing. They're talking about a $5 billion market cap, and they're talking about a NASDAQ listing. I mean, Coinbase still has XRP trading on it. How do you think that? Do you not think this is a risk for a company that's about to do an IPO?
Exactly. So it's going to depend. It's going to depend. First of all, Bitstamp has already said that they're taking it off. So just the fact that Bitstamp is taking it off, that already is very concerning in and of itself. But that's another good point, Ron, that there's just so much risk that, for a company like eToro or other exchanges, Coinbase, Gemini, who's trying to play by the rules, they don't really have a choice. They can't really continue offering it. So they're going to, obviously, it's actually in a way that is fortunate that this happened over the Christmas break, because they have some time to say, okay, the SEC just said that. Now let's wait for the air to clear. And there's this kind of uncertainty in the market. Look, now that purportedly and ostensibly Elad Roisman is coming into the SEC. First of all, this is amazing news for crypto. We don't know if it's confirmed yet. We have to wait for Joe Biden to get into his seat of power and see if that's actually going to stick. But Elad Roisman, he's a huge crypto fan. Seeing him replace Jay Clayton, that brings tears to my own eyes. I have a feeling that he will be very keen to settle with Ripple. Even a few $100 million that can go a long way towards the SEC's budget, and then legislating really good crypto regulations, which is what Elad and Hester are all about. So I think that the future is very good for the entire space. But right now, again, there's just way too much uncertainty, and everything else is pumping. So why would I hold something that's, we don't know where it stands and what could happen with it later on down the line, especially if it's.
I'm gonna say, Matt, I'm gonna agree with you. Like if you don't look, if you allocated all your money into XRP, it will be a good move to get out of it right now and go into something else. Obviously, the market is going up, so it would be nice to go ahead and catch some gains there. For me personally, I'm holding it, but I have other money to go ahead and allocate to other assets. So for me, it doesn't matter if I have
diversification is the key. You are correct. Thanks a lot for having me, Ron. I'll let you guys continue.
Marty, good to see you. I'm just looking at the comments here. You guys are our community. You guys are the best community in the world. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I've got you sold most of my XRP and bought Theta token. We've got Kaiten Groom who says, don't buy XRP. We've got XRP is genuine, and that's Ali Azad. You've got XRP has I'm not even going to say this, Q-tard infestation. So I guess lots of mixed reviews around XRP. David, before I let you go, because we've got a big feature around altcoins coming up next.
Yeah. What
percentage of your crypto portfolio today is in XRP?
I would have to look. I think it's about 34%.
So one third of your crypto portfolio is sitting in XRP with this big cloud over the, I'm not going to say the future of XRP, but certainly the success of XRP.
You got to believe. Look, for me, it's different. I just mentioned it when Maddie said it. Look, everybody can do what they want to do. Do I recommend that you go 100% into something? Absolutely not. I don't think you should go 100% into Bitcoin. I mean, that's my personal opinion. I hold more Bitcoin than I do XRP. But at the end of the day, you should diversify. And for me, XRP, I know when all this is settled, okay, I can't. If I told you my buy-in, you would understand why I'm saying like I can't let go of it. It would make no sense.
It doesn't matter what your buy-in is, because right now you want to preserve.
But for me personally,
you're going into the alt season. You're going into the biggest and most rampant alt season that we ever see. And you're going to be holding this token that's going to get.
But you're speaking for the United States. You're only speaking for the United States of America. You're not speaking for every other country that has deemed it not to be a security and that's not going to take it off and delist it. Okay, there's other exchanges. This is not 2017 where we had like 10 exchanges. We have exchanges all over the place. So if somebody wants to get into XRP, they're going to do it. They're going to get on a VPN. They're going to do everything possible to get it. Will it pump like the rest of the altcoins right now? I don't believe so because of the news. Because I'm sure if it goes up to 37 cents right now, Coinbase is going to come out and say, well, we're delisting we're going to delist, and then that thing's going to go right down to 27.
Hold on a second. Ripple XRP, Ripple's whole system involves money transfer from one financial institution or from one individual to another across the world very quickly with low transaction fees. That's effectively all the systems, or a lot of the systems that Ripple is building that use the XRP protocol. MoneyGram came out and said they haven't used XRP. Now, can you imagine Ripple going to clients now and saying, look, we want you to implement the system. The native currency that you use in the system is called XRP, and you need to buy XRP to do this. These guys are going to go, hold on a second. You've got a SEC case looming above your head. Why should we believe in this? There's so many.
That's why the partnership, all these partnerships that they probably have and they're in the works of, I don't think Ripple's Brad's not sitting there and saying we're gonna drag this along for the next 3 years. I'm telling you, they're gonna settle this out as quick as possible. I'm pretty sure Ripple's going to get hit with something. Absolutely, they'll be hit with like $50 million, and then they'll be on their way. As for MoneyGram, I don't even want to speak about them because nobody was getting into MoneyGram until they got with, Ripple, and then you saw what happened with their stock going up from like $1 and change to like $7 and change. Okay, and then they first came out and said they were using XRP or planning to use XRP for their transactions, and then when this case came out, we have no idea what's going on. Who's XRP? So like. I don't take their stuff at all as anything seriously. But look, to end on this point, I'm going to say this. If you're 100% in on XRP, I would tell you, look, be smart about it. There are other, altcoins that are moving right now that you can go ahead and get into, and then you can always get back into XRP. I'm not financial advice, just educational. But at the end of the day, I have no reason to move it, Matt. I have no reason to move it. No reason at all to move it.
My personal view is that if you're going to hold XRP, there are probably better tokens to hold. And that's because I think we're about to see the biggest alt season of our lives. And I want to be in tokens that can go 10x. I want to be in Ethereum, which can double and triple. And I know for sure is not a security. I want to be in all those tokens. I can't see the case for holding XRP.
Maddie's one of the smartest guys that you can ever speak to. And he just came on here, right? And he said, listen, it was his own opinion, but he was like, it's not a security. And look, I must
think that XRP is a security now. I think that when it was sold, which is what the SEC were claiming it was sold, it should have been a registered security.
When was it sold? When was it sold?
I don't remember, but it's a long time ago, before my time. So before.
And the statute of limitations lasts how long?
I don't know. I don't know so much if we can rely on it. Anyway, look, we are running out of time. I think it's been amazing. And this is what the station is for. The station is for us to banter, for us to share opinions, for us to keep doing it. I enjoy your views. I respect your views. And I guess time will tell whether my view or your view or the community's view is right. Speaking of the community, I see you guys all in the chat, but we have got an amazing show lined up for you. So I can't get to every single thing here. But people are here saying, just stop, David. Randman is just ignoring you. People are saying, forget about XRP, buy Polkadot, buy Kusama. So a lot going on in the chat.
Polkadot. How about Polkadot go ahead and simplify their entire white paper so people can understand what it actually does? Because I know what it does. It's a pretty good, blockchain system. But why don't you, simplify it for the person that's actually coming to the space and not talk code? How about you simplify it in layman's terms so people can understand? And maybe they might go into DOT.
Okay, so someone saying, before I let you go, let you shill 3 alts. You're not allowed to do, so the rules are as follows. You can't choose XRP, and you can't choose any project that you're working with, advising, getting paid by, remunerated by in any shape or form. What are your 3 best bets? I'm surprised you didn't say Polkadot, but I'd love to hear what you are going to say.
I will say Ethereum right off the bat. If you are now looking at Ethereum, you are nuts. Ethereum will go ahead and start the altcoin bull market. Second one, I will go with ADA. I like Cardano. I like what Charles has done. And the third one.
Charles is coming on our show tomorrow. He's going to be talking about his big themes for 2021. Don't miss it. Dave, I expect you to call in and speak to Charles. I know you guys are friends. I know you spoke to him. Right, one more. So
I love Charles. One more. One more.
Cardano, and then we're going into our altcoin segment.
I'm gonna go with
Zilliqa, and that of course is the big sharding blockchain. Zilliqa's had an amazing run. I mean, I think this year it must be up about 3 or 4x. I haven't checked today's price. I am a holder of Zilliqa, and it has had an amazing run. I wonder if it still has 10x left. It looks like it does from the momentum that it's got.
I think that you'll see. We're going to see, and I'm going to end on this note because I know you got more guests on, and I appreciate for you bringing me on again because I heard that nobody. No, I'm kidding with you. But I think I agree with you. I think the 2017 this bull run for the altcoin market is going to make 2017 look like an absolute utter joke. When these things take off, it's going to look like a complete joke. So all I want to tell your viewers is this: make sure you get your gains, and once you don't get greedy, take them out and invest into real estate so you can have an appreciated item.
Those are big words from David. David, thank you so much for coming back on Crypto Banter. Love bantering with you, my man. We'll get you back on here soon. Time for us to move on to our next segment. If you have loved this segment, if you have enjoyed this segment, do us a big favor, do the community a favor, and do your bags a favor by hitting the like button and hitting the subscribe button, because that gets our content out there. And if there's one section of the show that you really want your content out in, it's this next section. We're going to be talking about the altcoin run. We're going to be talking about whether or not this is indeed alt season. And if it is, what are the big people buying? And starting off talking about alt season, I've got a very, very, very special guest. Now, this is a guy that I've been trying to get on the show for months. Those of you that are on Twitter know him as Bitcoin Brown, and he is always in touch and in tune with what's happening on all the traders groups. David, I see you in the chat. You're welcome to stick around. I actually may bring you back to talk to us about your altcoin predictions. In the interim, we're going to move on to Bitcoin Brown. Bitcoin Brown, are you there?
Hello, my friends.
Yeah, Bitcoin Brown, it's so good to have you. You know, I've been trying to get you here for a while now, trying to get you to talk about altcoins, to tell me what altcoins you are buying, what altcoins you are holding. But I got to start off this by asking you a question. Do you think that Ethereum breaking $700 was the official start of the altcoin season?
You can say yes and no, because obviously for every move up, we have people that are trying to, capitalize on this. So they will sell on every move up. There's people selling on every move up. There's people buying. So, as long as there's more buys than there are sells, and the market looks very, all round green. So, we all know how the market goes. Bitcoin rallies, shitcoins dump. This is just how life is, So when Ethereum flies, like we're talking, like Bitcoin flies in a day, $1,000. It's amazing. Everyone feels great. And the euphoria on Twitter is ridiculous. But when Ethereum pumps, it's beyond a joke, because majority of people cannot afford one single Bitcoin, but they can afford one single Ethereum. And they have many, many catalogs of shitcoins that they also have. So obviously with Ethereum flying, we all go berserk. That's the party. Bitcoin's fantastic, man, but I ain't trying to make billionaires more money, innit? I'm trying to make my family some change at least.
Amazing. So let's just look at what's going on in the market. So the first thing I want to that I have up on my screen at the moment is, of course, the map of the greens versus the reds. And what you can see is that Bitcoin was ever so slightly down today, and it looks like everything else is in the green except for Litecoin, WBTC, and stuff related to Bitcoin. But
Beautiful.
Let's look at what happened. So Bitcoin hit the all-time high. Ethereum didn't move. Ethereum was stuck at around $600, $610. Then Ethereum broke out. And when Ethereum broke out, let's look at what happened to the Bitcoin dominance. The Bitcoin dominance crashed. And that, for me, signaled the start of alt season. Now, why do I say that? Is because I went back to 2017. And I looked at the graph of 2017. And it looks almost exactly the same, and almost even exactly the same today. We had 2.5 tops, which is exactly the same as we've had now in terms of the Bitcoin dominance. And then the Bitcoin dominance just crashed. In 2017, it went from about 67.5% and went all the way down to, I think, at one stage, even below 60%. And that started a rampant altcoin season. I don't know if you were around, and I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, madness. I've been here since 2016, so I haven't been active on Twitter for that time, but I was around, and unfortunately at that time I was more or less all in XRP, and we all know how that went. eToro locked my funds, so let me just say fuck eToro, innit?
No, don't use that language. But all good. All right, let's move on. So I want to talk about. So we spoke about Ethereum breaking out of 700. I think that this time this rally may be real. I've written down a couple of points for us to talk about. I think for one, Ethereum is very, very far away from its all-time high. I think it's broken the key levels, and the Coach K is on next, and he'll talk to us about what those key levels are. I think the biggest thing for Ethereum is that it has network effect amongst the VCs. It has network effect amongst the investors, amongst the exchanges, and amongst the DeFi community building on it. Mm-hmm. I think the entire DeFi and derivatives platform or infrastructure is being built on Ethereum, and I think that's huge because the derivatives are always...
The whole DeFi movement is literally relying on Ethereum, so... Without
DeFi and derivatives are always 10 times or 100 times bigger than the underlying investments. I think that's the biggest reason for its success. I also think that psychologically, when people look at Ethereum has two things working for it. One is it hasn't hit the all-time high or the crazy run. So people look at Ethereum and say, hold on, it did trade at 1900 or 1700, and now it's trading at 700, 750. It hasn't had that crazy run yet. The other thing is when people look at a Bitcoin, they say, hold on, a Bitcoin is $28,000 and Ethereum will cost me $750,000. And then the last point, Cherry, I think that the institutions haven't started buying it yet. And I think that
not at all.
It will start. And that's going to be the beginning of the Ethereum real bull run. And I think I agree that Ethereum can go to somewhere over $10,000.
That would be, oh gosh.
All right. Now that will bring us into, I think, what is altcoin season. And this is the altcoin season that I want to talk to you about, because I know you're very plugged in. I know you're plugged into all the chat groups and everything else.
Yeah,
and I'm dying.
A baby, that's for sure.
All righty. Guys, one more reminder now. If you are watching this, hit the like button, the subscribe button. We're going to talk about Bitcoin Brown's bags. We're going to find out what he's got in his bags. And then I've got a big segment for you. I've got Coach K Crypto. I've got Mr. Biz, and we're going to be digging into altcoins, and we're going to be digging into small caps. Rick, I see you in the chat. I'm going to bring you in a second. I see all you guys here in the chat. Cardano, ETH since 140. Crypto Eric, who says, I think Polkadot going to be 5x this year. I see you all, and I'm going to get to all of you, I hope. But I want to get back to Bitcoin Brown and find out what he's holding in his bags. All right, so Bitcoin Brown, I know that you're an altcoin junkie. I want to know what's in your bags.
So we'll just go with a top 5, yeah? So
let's go with top 5.
Without mentioning the top 2, which Bitcoin and Ethereum, they are staple bags that, in my opinion, everyone should have just at least a little piece, just in case you want to sprinkle on some other little coins to multiply your bags at some point in the future. So for now, I am mostly heavy. I got Polkadot. That's like my number 1. You know, that and RSR, they kind of go hand in hand for me. So Polkadot is a no-brainer.
Let's go one at a time. So first of all, you've got Bitcoin and ETH. What percentage of your portfolio today is sitting in Bitcoin and ETH?
Since this rally, Bitcoin has gone crazy. So percentage-wise, I'd say around, you know, rough estimate, almost a quarter of my portfolio is currently Bitcoin.
All right, and Ethereum.
Only because of the rally. Before that, it was next to nothing. This has just been insane.
All right, let's talk about Ethereum. So how much of your portfolio is in Ethereum?
Ethereum, you know, I'm a Uniswap baby as well. So, you know, if you're using Uniswap and you do not have any Ethereum, you just, I don't know what you're doing. But right now, it shadows my Bitcoin bag. Probably less than half, let's say like 10%.
All right, so 40% of your portfolio sits in Bitcoin and ETH. And now let's talk about the more exciting stuff. You mentioned Polkadot. Tell me what it is that excites you about Polkadot. I'm personally very excited about the project. I hold a whole lot of DOT tokens. Keen to hear from you what excites you about it. The chat's going crazy here. Bitcoin, ETH, RSR, Koti.
They know.
$750 at the moment. I mean, that is breaking news. That's amazing to hear. All right, why are you buying Polkadot?
Let's think of 2017. I can't exactly explain to you what happened because God knows what happened. You know, that was a madness. But when the FOMO came from retail investors, they were looking obviously at Bitcoin. Everyone was like, you know, Bitcoin, buy it. It was, you know, relatively inexpensive then. Ethereum was the next in line. So after Bitcoin had its rally, everyone else came straight down to Ethereum, and they were market buying like crazy. And now what we have on the scene is a new gameplay, a new player. So Polkadot is like, when you look at the high caps, look at the top 10, you see, you know, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. I can't comment on that because that's irrelevant to me. But when it came down now, especially, you know, moving into 2021 with the current market sentiment, people will look at Polkadot. They will look at who's running it, you know,
behind
you know, like Gavin Wood. This guy is no joke. He's not one, you know, he's not out here shilling his own coin. He's not promoting it in a, you know, in a shady way. He's not paying for shillers. He's not doing anything. You either buy a dot or you don't. There's no games. Like they even had a lot of FUD running around when they lost a lot of funds, and it seems to have been forgotten because the progress is real. And what we're going to see in the near future, I believe, you know, with these parachains, the Rococo, the man, Kasuma, everything is going to run on dot or it's going to be interoperable. So, you know, if it's not on dot and it runs on Ethereum, say no more. We've got another project that can quickly interlay for you so you can run your dot projects. It's going to be magical, man. And because price-wise, you know, people look at price. Can you afford a Bitcoin? Hell no. Can you afford it Ethereum? Some people know.
The unit cost, bias. I want to talk about Polkadot and just give some of our viewers a little bit more of the fundamentals. So Polkadot is a protocol which was founded by an ex-Ethereum core developer, one of the founders of Ethereum, Dr. Gavin Wood. He founded the Polkadot. He was one of the founders of the Polkadot protocol. It's an interesting protocol. It allows for cross-chain movements around tokens, and it also allows for parallel chains or side chains, which are not exactly side chains, but to allow them to process specific transactions. And the result is that you can create these custom-built, purpose-built blockchains that all plug into the core blockchain or the core Polkadot team. Their tokenomics are superb. We'll talk about that in another show. I think it's too deep for what we're talking about now, but I will actually do a whole feature for you guys on Polkadot. Definitely one of the best projects. Bitcoin Brown did mention that they did lose some money. That's true. They raised a whole lot of money, I think in around 2017, 2018. And someone or something went wrong with the smart contract, or someone lost the keys to the contract or something along those lines. And the money was basically there and it was burnt or untouchable. But they managed to still launch the protocol, and they managed to raise more money, which gives them a real edge. And we'll definitely get into why we're so bullish on Polkadot. But I must say, I do agree with you, and I am a bag holder of Polkadot. All right, let's talk about your next bag, which is Reserve. Now, RSR, I was a holder. I'm no longer a holder. I think you know that better than anyone. I'm keen to understand what it is about RSR that keeps this thing doubling.
Keeps this thing dumping, did you say?
Doubling. It just keeps doubling.
Okay. My gosh. All right. You know, so basically, you know, what RSR is a protocol for like decentralized stable coins with you know, collateral backing it. So, you know, the plan is to have maximum decentralization on the protocol and have a whole basket of different crypto assets, you know, maybe even real world assets like stocks, bonds, who knows, could end up being, you know, actual material assets that back these stable coins. So obviously with RSR coming into play, you know, a lot of people see it as, you know, it is a risky play, but it's a risky play that, in my opinion, has worked out really well. So, you know, I was from 2019, I was buying at 20 sats, 25 sats, whatever it was back then. And even then, Bitcoin was considerably cheaper. So obviously the market buyers, they made sense to me. And, you know, doing my heavy research into the project, trying to talk to team members, the only guy that was ever available was Nevin. And, you know, you have to speak to him publicly in the group chat. So after getting to know the protocol and, you know, the investors, the backers, you know, many projects can't boast the back end, the RSR, or even the connections that RSR have. You know, like even with Nevin, doing my research on him, he's like a godsend for crypto. So you know, in my opinion, you know, I think you know Nevin very well, Rand. So you should know he's a very smart man. He knows what he's doing.
I had him on my CNBC show several times. I was also an investor in RSR, but I've since then sold my bags. For me, RSR, the core project around RSR, which was the one that Peter Thiel backed and a whole lot of big other investors backed, was this asset-backed stablecoin, which eventually, which starts off by over-collateralizing, if I remember correctly, and then over time builds up trust. And then as the trust is built up, starts to dynamically under-collateralize, and so it builds the money supply. Now, that application, from what I understand, or that mainnet still hasn't launched. And they raised the money a long time ago. They still haven't launched, and that's because they were focusing on other applications, specifically around, if I understand correctly, getting money out of places like Venezuela and helping people in countries like Venezuela. Now, I did reach out to Nevin to try and get him on the show, but they are involved in something that's rather groundbreaking, according to him, and they don't want to give any competitors an edge. And so what they're saying is, look, they don't want to come and do any PR now, but as soon as they do have it, we'll obviously get him back on the show, and we'll talk about that. Let's park Polkadot. Let's park RSR. I want to know 3 more of the coins that are in your bag.
So I'll try my best to obviously stick to ones that people may know, because I don't want to get people confused. But you know, if I can give you extra 2 at the end, Just a little hint on what they are.
Yeah, let's go. The more coins, the better. People come here for the coins. People come here for the coins. Mo, I'm just going to go to the chat for a second. Mo Yihan, we see you. Yes, Peter Thiel was one of the original investors, and as far as I know, I haven't heard that he's left the project. So Peter Thiel definitely is one of the investors in RSR. That is one of the things that made me very excited about RSR. Look at the Ethereum Mafia. All got good projects. That's coming from Mike and Arba. He says, look at the Ethereum Mafia. Vitalik Buterin, Gavin Wood, Charles Hoskinson all came up with good projects. I guess, yeah, there's a lot more coming. Tomorrow we got Charles Hoskinson here on our show talking about his 2021 themes. That's definitely going to be a big one. I encourage you guys all to log in and join us tomorrow. All right, let's go with the next coins.
So a lot of people know me from 2019. Kotti, currency of the internet. They have so much coming up. So much has already been done. They are just performing nonstop, and it's one of the very few projects I can personally vouch for to say that they never promise anything, but they just deliver. They just throw their updates, their progress. It's just nonstop delivering. I think you had Shahaf on the show the other day. Like you got a good hint as to what they're building there. And what sort of guy he is. He's another really smart dude who in this space he just seems to know what he's doing. Look at the market cap. It's ridiculous. I can't believe it. It's that at the minute.
I have a big problem with Kotti. This is a real world project. So again, full disclosure, I am or was an advisor for Kotti. I'm a bag holder of Kotti. I don't think I've ever sold a Kotti token. I keep buying Kotti tokens. I know the founder or the founders quite well. Shahaf is an amazing guy. These guys are very smart. They're Israeli guys, and they're amongst the smartest guys that I've ever met. Shahaf himself, not only is he very smart, but he's got a history of delivering. He ran a big digital marketing agency before, and he's got a history of delivering. And I think at Kotti, these guys have consistently delivered and always delivered better and ahead of schedule. They've delivered their Kotti Pay wallet. They delivered the chain on time. They've got real world adoption. I think Shahaf came on our show about a week ago and he mentioned that they were already by then in half of December over $12 million processed in real world payments, signing real partnership. There's a lot more news coming, but they also announced the launch of the VIX or the CVIX, which is the crypto volatility index. And I think that that's fundamental to the crypto ecosystem because that is how we're going to price derivatives. And it also gives us another instrument to play when you don't know if the market's going to go up or down, but there's going to be some volatility because there hasn't been much movement. You can always buy or sell the crypto volatility index. And Shahaf said that he would come onto our show around January the 10th when they've got a big announcement, and we could actually trade the CVIX live here and teach our people here how to trade. Now,
it's going to be magic.
It's going to be magic. The problem that I have is that Kotti, which did an IEO, and I think the IEO price was around 5 cents.
Yeah, and if I remember, yeah.
All right, so I've put this graph up on my screen. It's a bad chart, and I know that I mentioned I'm only going to use Masari from now on, but I've got this open in front of me. But if you look at this chart, so the IEO happened, it went above 10 cents. It then went down, 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 down. And every time it goes anywhere near 7.5 cents, something happens and this thing comes down. And it suppresses the market cap at about $30 or $35 million. Now, when I look at the other protocols that are trading in the $100, $200, $300 million protocols, they haven't delivered half as much as Kotti's delivered.
Oh, true.
So, yeah, I'm baffled as to why this thing, I haven't worked out the code of why.
You can say, though, that when it did come out, there was a considerably smaller amount of supply available. So when it did come out, it came out with like tens of millions of tokens. Now we're looking at hundreds of mils. So, there is a big inflation that took place, but obviously they've handled it the best they can. And obviously now we see the chart making some sort of sense after that long bear market downtrend.
Yeah, again, doesn't matter. The reasons don't matter. For me, I need to understand why can't Kotti go up to be a $100 million market cap project, which is where I think it should be. This is a project that survived 2017, has smart people working for it, has real world adoption. The tokenomics are amazing. The staking programs, the staking returns are absolutely amazing. I can't imagine why this token doesn't keep flying. But anyway, let's move on. I've got some breaking news here. So for those of you who are watching, who are following the breaking news, and who are part of our Telegram group. So if you just give me 1 second.
Breaking news on Crypto Banter, where you break the news.
Group, and if you're not part of our Telegram group, go and join our Telegram group, because that's where we do most of our small cap and micro cap hunting. We found this little gem of a token. The token is called Unimix. Now, if you don't know Unimix, and again, for full disclosure, I do hold Unimix tokens, and it's important that you guys know that. I'm not paid, I'm not affiliated to the project, but I do hold tokens, and I'll always disclose that to you guys before I punt something. But these guys are building a margin and derivative exchange on Uniswap tokens. Now, for me, that's an absolute game changer when you can start taking margin, peer-to-peer margin, and trading it on Uniswap. And tomorrow we've got the team from Unimix on the show. You can see this token has done incredibly well. In fact, when we posted it on our Telegram group yesterday, it was about 48 cents. It's already up 34.9%. It's a micro small cap. As you can see, the market cap is under $5 million. So if you want to do your research, join us tomorrow in the middle slot, just after Charles, and just before a big surprise that we have for you guys tomorrow. We're going to be talking about this thing, and we're actually even going to be showing you a demo of how it works. All right, let's go back to what's in Bitcoin Brown's altcoin bags. We've spoken about Polkadot, we've spoken about Reserve, we've spoken about Kotti. What else is in your bags?
I'm holding it down with my bag of Noya. They recently did a rebrand. Let me just pull up my little page. So Syntropy, it's becoming, it's becoming more of instead of it just being a utility token, it seems to be now they're heading into an entire ecosystem. So who knows where they could go with this, but in my opinion, I've seen small projects, not crypto related, but I've seen small projects very similar, in line with the technology kind of movements that these guys are making. They've been snapped up by Microsoft, by IBM, by Oracle. So, if in the future we start to see big companies, tech brands come into this game, they just start throwing their billions of dollars around. Who's to say that any of these projects won't just get handpicked by, I don't know, IBM? They might look at what they're doing, see that the IFP6 stuff that they're moving around on the networks, and they're trying to save the internet. So they say, I believe it because the internet's trash, and we've got a whole bunch of spam, all these ledger hacks and everything else. You can't control or secure anything. So in my opinion, if Noya, Syntropy can come out with an ecosystem that even helps 10% of the internet, or is a big old global internet we've got going on at the minute. So if they can help a little percentage, it's going to go very far. And it's already, you can tell by the market cap, it is blown up. And there's a big reason behind it, that they're actually making moves.
So they've got, I think, a launch. I'm not sure exactly what day it is. I think it's in about 8 days. This is a Web3 complete stack that these guys are launching. For me, I mean, I've been in Noya from about 7 or 8 cents. For me, at 23, 24 cents. I don't know. I'm kind of considering maybe taking some profits. I'm going to speak to Coach K in the next segment. And I'm also going to talk to Mr. Biz and see what they're saying about Noya. Bitcoin Brown, let's give you one more token before we bring some of your friends here and we start going small cap hunting.
My gosh. Okay, so I'll come out with 2 tokens if that's all right. First one, both of them are Polkadot. I'll be very quick and brief. But first one is Fella Network, PHA. Is the cash tag. These guys are, I haven't spoke to anyone.
It seems like we lost you. So PHA, you said
privacy smart contracts built on DOT. So I don't know a single other project doing this on Polkadot. So for me, it's like one of those moon bags that you could say, but I've kind of gone a bit degen with it and made it a big bag. So let's just see where that goes. I do believe in it. I do believe the project can really move. And, we have the parachains coming out very soon, the auctions. So they're going to be doing a crowd fund for the community. So I imagine a hella amount of DOT and everything else will get locked up to enable these little parachain projects to try to get their slots. If this gets it, I'm telling you, you're going to see an easy 10, 20, possibly 50x, because, you know, there's an incentive to have it and a hold, and actually, you know, it can become a real big project so long as the success of DOT gets concrete.
So I think this is a great point that you're making. I think we're actually talking about two specific points here, both of which I like. One is there's a lot of good stuff being built on Polkadot at the moment. And, you know, like I said to Justin Sun when he was here earlier in the show, it's not really about technology anymore. It's actually about how you can get people building onto your chain. Now, you look at a chain like DOT, and DOT has amazing projects working on it. DeFi projects, non-DeFi projects, they're all building on Polkadot. We've had Polkastarter, which is their platform, their launch platform, which was, we had some projects that came out of there the other day, featured on our show. I think one of them was SpiderDAO. The other part of this, which I really love, is I think that this market, this next altcoin run, is not about altcoins. I don't think that Tezos is going to do a 10x in the next altcoin run. I don't think that EOS is going to do anything except maybe go down in the next altcoin run. I think the money, the magic, is going to be on these low cap, small cap hunting projects. And this is what we're looking for on the show. This is what we're going to bring you. So if you are here, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and then join our Telegram, because we are every day focusing on these small caps. We've got 2 small caps for you this week, which we're going to bring you. And in fact, I want to just actually go one step further. And I want to show the viewers here some of the calls that we've already made. We've made a whole lot of calls on our Telegram group, mainly small caps, not all small caps, but mainly small caps. And some of them have been really, really good. If you're part of our Telegram group, you'll know this. But for one, we've called Unimix Finance. We called it yesterday. We called it yesterday at about 48 cents. It's now trading, as we said, at about 65 cents. Bird.money, which is a small Oracle play. It's a, if you want to call it this, it does more or less what Chainlink does. We called that on our Telegram chat at about $5. It's gone up as much as to $30, and it's come down to 26. They're going to be on our show on Wednesday. Again, full disclosure, I am a bag holder there. Not involved with the company in any way, but definitely a bag holder. You've got Celsius Network. Now, for me, Celsius Network is by far the best investment that I've ever made. And the company, what they're doing, the people, the culture, they're now a $1.5 billion protocol, and I think they deserve everything. And I think this is just the beginning. If you know what's going on there, and we'll try to get Alex Mashinsky back on the show, but this is just the beginning for them. And the last one that we actually called this after collaborating with Elio Trades, or getting it off the Elio Trades platform. Elio Trades did an amazing video explaining what KeeperDAO does. Now, I think you all should go and have a look at it. He's got a YouTube channel, and he's got a Telegram group called Elio Trades. But go and have a look at it, because this is a protocol which is designed to minimize the gas fees and minimize, or using game theory, minimize the bad actors when it comes to gas. And it does this in a very, very novel way. I'm not going to go into it now just because we are limited in time. But that token as well has gone up from about $70 to about $120. And I think that token probably still has another 2 or 3x in it. So even though this price, the market cap is around $30 million, I think when you think about the gas fees and solving the gas fees on the Ethereum protocol, KeeperDAO or the Rook token is definitely one that I would look at. So yes, we are looking for the very small caps. We've got the small cap that you've told us about. For those of you who want the token symbol again, it's PHA. It's called the Pala Network, PHALA Network. It's currently trading at 9.6 cents, and the market cap is about $13.2 billion. All right, Brian, what else?
PCX, ChainX. This is very, it's extremely unknown amongst, those that are not involved in the Polkadot ecosystem, or those that are not hunting for these little low caps. This one's sitting on around $20.6 million at the minute. It's, where is it? So it's going to be one of the first blockchains built on Substrate to help with, build upgradable and efficient blockchains, but also with the interoperability between Ethereum, EOS, and the various other blockchain standards that we have at the minute. So this is going to be, again, another Polkadot-based project that will be hopefully getting a parachain slot. So again, you know, another project that will rely on the major success of DOT. In my opinion, I'm pretty much all in DOT. So I truly believe DOT is going to be huge. So if you are able to get in early in some of these DOT ecosystem gems, you know, you may be blessed by the shitcoin gods. Let's hope so.
Yeah, I mean, I must say, what you're saying here actually does make this all, it actually does bring this on. It says, you know, Polkadot is actually doing amazing things. All the projects that you're citing, and a lot of the amazing projects that are coming to the space being built on Polkadot. So if you're not holding Polkadot, I would seriously recommend, and this is not financial advice, but purely based on my own trading and my own portfolio, but I certainly hold a big percentage of my portfolio in DOT and all the related Kusuma and all the other related things. The lines are going absolutely crazy, so I'm going to remind our viewers that this is
It's time to banter. Lines are open.
do want to call in and you do want to banter with us, and I can see the lines are going crazy. In fact, the studio can't even accommodate all of you that want to get in. You can go to our website. Our website is www.cryptobanter.com. You can click on the link there and you can come on and you can talk anonymously, just like Bitcoin Brown and the next guest that we're bringing on are talking anonymously to us. But let us know what you guys are doing. And if you don't want to come onto the show, just tell us in the comments and let's try and get all of this. I see Deep Shwama, you're asking about Parsec. Parsec is an amazing, amazing protocol. Again, discovered, I think, by Elio Trades. And Elio Trades has got a very powerful community. And tomorrow we're having him on our show in the last slot of our show. And he's going to be talking about his 3 themes for 2021. And maybe we'll even be making an announcement about something amazing that Elio and I are doing in the new year. I'm going to go to callers. I'm going to keep you on the line, Bitcoin Brown, because I know that you're here. Dan, I see you. Dan, welcome to Crypto Banter.
Thanks for having me.
Great, man. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I got interested in crypto a couple of years ago, and I find Unimix, one of your calls, super undervalued right now. If you look at the volume that BitMEX does, and you look at the volume that all these margin exchanges are doing, and Unimix really solves one of those problems with the regulatory insight, with the SEC actions coming up. And I really appreciate you looking into the project and supporting these low caps that have a lot of opportunity.
So I want to talk a little bit about Unimix, and if you I'm just trying to look and see if I've got something to show you guys. I think that Unimix is one, it's extremely undervalued, and we'll talk about that in a second. But more than that is, I think that Unimix is an important component, or one of the most important components in the future of the crypto ecosystem around DEXs. Now, for me, I think that DEXs are the future. I think that centralized exchanges, we're already seeing that the SEC are starting to clamp down, and that all the DeFi protocols are being built on these centralized exchanges, and on these decentralized exchanges. Now, what that effectively means is that you have to build a whole infrastructure to talk to the decentralized exchanges. A big part of any infrastructure is margin trading. You cannot have derivative products unless you can have margin trading. And what Unimix is doing is it's building margin trading on tokens that are listed on Uniswap, which means that you're now not limited to leverage to a centralized exchange. So even the FTXs of the world, who I'm very fond of, but that's a very centralized exchange. You're not limited to who Binance tell you are going to be listed and what trading pairs are going to be listed. Now, I hope the team don't kill me for this, and I'm sorry to the team in advance if they do, but I've had a sneak peek at their beta version, and I want to show it to you. So I don't know if you can see my screen over there. In fact, let me try and give you guys a better screen share than that. Give me 1 second. I'll try and give you guys a better screen share.
I've also checked out their beta, and I think it's very smooth, very sleek UI. And they've been implementing, if you hard refresh every few days or so, even every couple hours, they've been implementing all the changes that have been suggested by the beta testing community. So they're very taking community input and then putting them out into the platform.
Yeah, so I think, I mean, again, let's leave it for tomorrow's conversation, but you can see that what these guys are building is incredible, or it looks like it's incredible. We'll get much more tomorrow. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty, I've used it a little bit, and it looks pretty simple to use. We'll talk to them tomorrow and try and get them on. But again, I do think that the bigger part of it is that if the world is moving to DEXs, and if you look at the market cap of Uniswap, SushiSwap, and all of the others, you definitely know that this is something that is unique and something that's very, very, very important. Dan, I'm going to let you go, and only because the lines are going absolutely crazy. I've still got Coach K and Mr. Biz who are going to drop wisdom on us, as Ivan on text says. Michael, I'm going to bring you in. You're on at cryptobanter.com, and you're here with Bitcoin Brown. Michael, are you there? Michael, are you there? All righty, so we're going to let Michael go unless Michael wants to come back. If you do connect your mic, you're going to go. All right, the lines are going crazy. The chat's going crazy, but I have to bring in our new guests. But before I do, I just want to bring David back into the conversation. David, you heard about Coach K, about Bitcoin Brown's bags. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Reserve, Coti, Polkadot, and then two smaller floating, and there was one other one. What do you think of his bag?
I think they're fine. I think they're fine plays for, again, like anything in the altcoin market right now, it's going to go crazy, man. Again, like I said before, 2017 is going to look like a total joke.
Sell your XRP and buy dot-based projects where you can get 100.
But look, we're going right back to it. I can afford that. Like, I can afford to hold that asset because I have more money to play with. So right. I can go into Brown's bags and I'll be fine. I'll double it, but you'll see. Look, I'm gonna be back on the show in 6 months from now, okay? And I'm gonna be like, what happened? Where are your bags of XRP?
That's what happened. Dot blew up.
Don't worry, my producers are all writing down everything that's going on here, and we're going to post it on our website with your calls. Neil, one of our producers, if you're listening, I hope you heard what these guys are talking about. Dave, I'm going to let you go because we're going into the last part of our show, which is, for me, the most fun part of our show, because this is really what I do on a day-to-day basis, and that's the part of the show which we call small cap hunting. And this is where we look for projects under the 10 or under the $20 million market cap, and we try and find the good ones. We research them. We give them exposure. For our community, if you want to join our community, the Telegram link is here in the YouTube channel. And you can send us what you think are the most promising small caps and send us research. We have our own researchers, but also send us your research. Tell us why you like them. And let's see if we can give them some publicity. And let's see if we can give them a springboard, just like we're doing with a whole lot of other projects like Bird and like Unimix. Alrighty, Brown, I know that you are very friendly with both of our next guests, so I'm going to bring you all on at exactly the same time. Coach K, Mr. Biz, so excited to have you guys on the show. And of course, we're going to bring in a new segment. We're bringing a new segment. I want Coach K, I want you to tell the world to like and subscribe to our show today, because that is what is going to get information about your bags into the market. Coach K, tell them what to do.
Definitely. You guys know what to do. You click on that like button, you click on that subscribe button, you smash on that bell so you don't miss any of these other shows. If you don't do it, I'm going to be upset.
If we beat our likes and subscribes, we'll keep getting Coach K back here to give us wisdom, to give us his altcoin bags. But this, for me, is the most important or the most fun part of the show, and especially because I think this next altcoin run is going to be all about the small caps. And unlike 2017, where you had to subscribe to oversubscribed IPOs, now with Uniswap or ICOs, now with Uniswap, we all get a chance to buy these small caps and to participate in the upside right from the bottom. I've certainly done it with a lot of projects, and I'm doing it with a lot of projects, as I've mentioned on the show. Guys, welcome back. Mr. Biz, welcome back. Always good to see you. Well, not see you, but see your avatar.
How you guys doing? Can you guys hear me clearly?
Yes, my bro.
All right, man. What's going on? And just to, I heard what David was saying before. He's a high net worth individual. Unfortunately, most of us are not high net worth individuals. So I would just say, if you're not rich, you're crazy to buy XRP if you're not rich. It doesn't make any sense at all. If we're looking at numbers, and again, I got a degree in accounting. I know numbers, right? So it makes absolutely no sense to tell somebody to buy XRP if you're making $40,000 a year. Let's keep it real.
Hold on. Let's look. There's 4 of us on the call now. By a show of hands, is anyone here still holding XRP?
No.
No way.
Okay. So no one's holding XRP. Coach, you say no. You say no way. I've given you my thinking as to why I'm not buying XRP, or certainly why I'm not holding XRP. That's not to say that I was holding XRP before, but I'm certainly not holding it now. Why wouldn't you be holding XRP now?
I think it's a coin when it moves. If it ever moves, it's just an easy trade to either short most of the time, 90% of the time, or it's when it longs, you get those moves like we just saw. But with the whole looming negativity from the SEC, with the whole flare, it seems like what's actually the value right now, not XRP itself and banking coins. I mean, if you're someone who really truly believes in crypto and you're holding XRP, you probably just care a little bit more about the money, and it is what it is. I mean, everyone's here for their own reasons, but I'm not a fan of XRP. I'll make money from it because I'm a trader and I don't let that slip, but I mean, anyone would be crazy to hold it. It's the worst performing asset for the last year or so.
Of all time. Of all time.
Yeah.
Well, no.
Not of all time. If you bought it at the bottom, trust me.
I'm exaggerating, but listen, I bought XRP in 2018. Let me tell you what happened. I bought it 50 cents. Then I met Bitcoin Brown, and Bitcoin Brown says, you're a madman. Bitcoin Brown told me to sell your XRP, get into X, Y, and Z. I'm gonna tell you right now, that man saved my life. That man saved because what's XRP right now? So 2018 October, 50 cents. Coach, what's XRP right now? 33 cents.
Yeah, we went all the way down to 21 cents actually recently.
All right,
so,
all right. So then right now. By the way, I was so close to selling my wife's gold, man. I was about to go sell my wife's gold to buy XRP. That woman would have divorced me right now if I would have done that.
For real.
Right, guys, I want to remind you guys, even though the rooms are full, the waiting rooms are full, guys, the lines are open. So if you want to call in. All you need to go is go to our website, www.cryptobanter.com, and then just hit the enter button, and you'll get onto the show immediately. You'll be on, and you can remain anonymous. You can even put up an avatar like Mr. Biz has got you. All right.
Yeah.
So, guys, let's talk about alt season. Coach K, I want to ask you a question. 3 weeks ago, you told me to buy Zilliqa.
I did.
First, it went down about 10%, and I took you on
You're
the
mad.
show.
Yeah.
It's doubled since then, I think.
A little bit more. I think it's up 250%. Maybe in US dollar value, it's up even more. I told you about 3 cents. It hit just under 10 cents actually, so 3x. This happens with me because I trade on a high time frame, so it's something that I've gone through a lot. I told people to buy ETH like a week ago. It went down. They were like, "Oh, should we sell?" Even myself, I was like, "Maybe we should." And I was like, "No." I doubled down. And I mean, if you see ETH today, you're like, "Okay, life is pretty good."
Let's keep it focused. Let's keep it fast. Zilliqa, time to sell, or are we holding this thing for another 2x?
I think you can definitely hold it, but you should sell your initial always. If you're up, sell your initial, take your profit, or take a little bit of profit and let the rest ride. Keep a moon bag of Zill because it could definitely have more upside to it. And if we're really starting the bull run, if we're really starting the alt run, you don't want to miss something that's just getting started. Just turn the heat and the engines up.
All right, I just want to say that Zilliqa is one of those blockchains that is around almost at $1 billion market cap now. This is one of the old 2018 projects, or the projects that raised money in 2017 or 2018. This is a high-performance blockchain, sharding blockchain. It's a blockchain that uses sharding technology to get very big throughput. Now, if you look at Zilliqa hasn't performed at all. It didn't perform at all. Right through until recently. I mean, if you look, Coach, I don't know if you want to just share the chart, the 1 year chart, the chart for this year of Zilliqa, but it hasn't really, it didn't really perform, and then it bounced, and I think it started at about 0.0, so about 3 cents, and I think today it's trading at about 8 or 9 cents.
Yeah, I like actually looking at Zilliqa. Let me just share the screen a sec. I like looking at Zilliqa BTC because there's more there's a lot longer history there. And when we look at it, we get a good understanding of why I bought it. So, I mean, if you look at it from this angle, it was an accumulation cycle, and we're looking at weekly for many, many weeks. And does it have upside? I mean, like we're looking at the 6618, so that's 600. That's about double where it is right now if it goes on a really big run. But we had a cup and handle, a really easy, clear one. Told you to buy that on the breakout here, and it came back down and tested that. We had talked about that, and then it just started to go on a run. So yeah, it definitely has a lot more upside to go. If you do a cup and handle, something that people don't know is you can kind of like draw the cup the other way to see where it would go to. So we'd be looking around, maybe around 520 or so for it to keep going if it goes
So it could
complete
still
stablecoin.
double. I mean, effectively you're saying it could still double.
Yeah, it could still double, or at least 60 to 80% potentially.
All right, Mr. Biz, Zilliqa, yes, buy in your portfolio or no?
No, it's not my portfolio. Too high of a market cap. Straight up, I'm just being honest with you.
I knew you would say that.
I mean, the way I look at it is everybody's got different strategy, right? Think of it as if I have limited funds, whether you do, you don't, right? You got to be selective.
Everyone has limited funds, and if they don't have limited funds, just get a wife, and then everyone has limited funds.
No, right. So if again, coach is one of the best traders, right? So coach is the type of guy, day to day, minute to minute, coach can flip like that, right? Tomorrow he sees something change, coach can adapt, right? I'm not as good as a trader as coach. I'm more of an FA guy, low cap guy, right? So right now, did I expect Zilliqa to do this? Absolutely not, right? But at the same time, if I'm looking at a few alts, I'm not going to go and focus on Zilliqa, right? I'm going to focus on a few smaller caps, and I'll go heavier in on those caps, right? I'll go heavier on those caps, and I don't have to do as many X's. So how many X's has Zilliqa done right now? 2X in a month?
Yeah, I want to say the following. So I think we've got to separate this discussion into saying, look, you've got to have a really diversified portfolio in crypto. I think everybody must have Bitcoin. I think everybody must have Ethereum in their portfolios, no matter who you are. And I'm assuming that everybody on this call has got Bitcoin and Ethereum.
I disagree.
Hold on. The responsible thing to do is to have a diversified portfolio. The riskier your appetite, the more you can afford to risk, the more you can afford to lose, the more chances you should take. And if you're going to take chances, then these are the small caps that you're going to put your money in. I wouldn't take my money out of Bitcoin and Ethereum and start putting them into these tiny micro caps, because I was around in 2017 and I know exactly what happens.
Yeah.
But you know what? The thing is, this is where I think this is different from 2017. I might be the minority. I don't think everything is going to pump. What I think is we're going to see a segments, right? And you have Elliot on tomorrow, right? And so, I know he's probably going to talk about some segments and industries he thinks they're going to pump. Just like I think Polkadot plays. I think, again, if you want to do like an index, right? Oracle's always pump, right? I think we're going to see, and we saw this in the summertime, Polkadot coins, there were a few that I held, did a 10x, right? So what I mean is, when we're going back to that, do you need Bitcoin? Do you need Ethereum? I think you should have at least one. Personally, I have Ethereum. I don't hold any Bitcoin. I really don't care. I'm going heavier on coins that I know can give me a better return ROI.
All right.
Can I? Absolutely, I can.
What are they? Let's talk about these. Yeah, I want you to start
right now. Have you ever heard of a blockchain on Mars? Have you ever heard of that? Blockchain on Mars? There is a project, one of the first Polkadot projects from 2015 that people don't know about, called Robonomics, XRT, right? The coin is XRT. They are going to be one of the first to get a parachain on Kusama, right? And let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys. I'm going to share my screen.
Literally, just market bought that.
You just whoa. So Brian, let's just understand. You bought XRT today at about $19.
Just around 18, yeah.
I've been trying to get Brown to buy this, and Brown just today, again, I've been trying to get Brown to buy this for a while, all right? But XRT, guys, if you want to look at the market cap, right now, it is a $15 million market cap. This actually hit $40 a few weeks ago, all right? This is going to be one of the first projects to get a Polkadot parachain. They're actually working with Kusama, if everybody knows Kusama, to help have a blockchain on Mars that can communicate with a blockchain on Earth. You can actually go to YouTube. It says Kusama on Mars. This is not a joke. This is legitimate. They're doing this. They will do this. They will do this. The other thing, go ahead.
I get the hype. I really do. I get the hype around it. I get this blockchain.
It's not hype. It's not hype. It's not hype. They have grants. This is legitimate stuff. They're one of their developers. This guy right here, Sergey, he actually spoke at the UN about IoT a few weeks ago. This is not hype. These are things that they are doing, that they will do. And I don't want to go into the dry stuff.
Recap for me and for the people here in the chat who are asking the questions. Why would we be buying XRT? What's the main reason to be buying it?
Because they're going to be one of the first ones. First of all, let's look at tokenomics, right? It's a low cap, $15 million market cap. You see the circulating supply here? This is going to actually stay the same for 2 years. You have 767,000 supply. They're not going to release any more tokens until I believe ETH 2.0, which is at least 2 years from now. That's according to their team, right? $15 million market cap. This is one of the cheapest Polkadot projects. It will be one of the first ones to get. It will be one of the first ones to get a parachain. Also, if I want to show a graphic here, what they're doing with IoT, not that one. Right here. If you look at what they're doing with IoT, this is how they compare to AWS, right? AWS, Microsoft Azure, and I work in technology. I work with Google Cloud. I work with AWS. I work with all the technologies, right? This to me could be, again, it's not going to take market share. Nobody's going to take market share from these giants. But even if you have a little bit of competition, even if you can paint that narrative that, hey, we are in the same league as these guys. Right? It's a $50 million market cap. You want me to tell you what I think is going to go? At least $120, $130. This is going to go. At least $120, $130.
All right. So XRT, Coach, have you heard about this XRT project?
Yeah, I remember like a while back, it was a pretty big Chico shill. And at the time, it went to like $100 or so. And I was like, I'll just wait for that to come back down. So now it's in a range where, it might be getting a little bit more interesting for me to get in. But I gotta chart that out a little bit first before I can say if
I think the chart is one thing, but I want to do the fundamental research. I'm making a note of it right now. I'm going to look at this XRT, and I'm going to come back.
Look at the fundamentals. Look at the fundamentals. The team is strong. Gavin Wood mentioned them, right? You can, again, there's so much things going on with XRT, robotics and IoT. If there's people who would buy this purely on the dot hype, if you're looking just on the dot hype, forget the fundamentals, guys. $767,000 circulating supply, right?
All right.
Go ahead.
Got it. Okay, so we talking about we spoke about XRT, market cap 15 million, definitely falls into our small cap hunting segment. Let's talk about your next token.
Next token is a combination of AI and an Oracle. It is ORAI-chain, right?
You said it must be ORAI-chain.
It must be ORAI-chain, right? Now, why am I bullish on this? They just decided to burn 73% of the supply. They revamped the tokenomics. They had a big token unlock coming out in 2021. They've extending the vesting to 7 years, right? Right now, if I look at ORAI-chain,
market cap $7 million.
Market cap $7 million, 450,000 circulating supply. Now, yes, the total is 23 million, but it will take 7 years to get to there. Now, one of the reasons I am bullish on this is Dr. Chung, their founder, used to work for Rikisoft, which is one of the largest IT tech firms in Vietnam. Rikisoft has now partnered with the ORAI-chain. In addition to that, many of these oracles today, who's using them? Well, guess what? ORAI-chain is now going to be used by Cardia Chain. Right? So they have a partnership with Cardia Chain. This is all in 3 months. They also have the mainnet coming out in January and tier 1 in February, guys. Now, I'm not going to, I don't want to speculate, but Dr. Chung, about 1-2 months ago, was on a panel with Binance. That's all I'm going to say. Look it up. Dr. Chung, he was on a panel with Binance. He's got Binance connections. They got a tier 1 coming out in February. So I'm expecting big things from them.
All right. So, ORAI-chain, I must say, that is a project that I've started looking at. It is a great combination of an Oracle and an Oracle play and an AI play.
Let me show you the graphic. I mean, if you just look at this, how can you not just go ahead and market buy all of it? Come on. This is ocean plus these oracles. By the way, nobody else has this, right? So if you want to say first movers advantage, nobody else has this, right? They actually also going to have AI partners coming up. So this is going to be real world adoption, what they're doing right now.
All right, Bitcoin Brown, have you ever heard of this project?
Yeah, I've been looking at it. It kind of went away from me. I don't know what them guys have been doing, but I think they're just market buying on every dip. So I can't really get a bag. It's getting a bit much.
All righty. Yeah. Okay. So just for all our viewers who are watching this, I certainly don't have positions in this coin, but I do try and disclose where I am holding positions. Guys, I encourage you to do the same. And also, please refrain from talking about any project that you're actually working with unless you disclose it here to our community. We want to remain transparent, specifically in the bull market. So, again, just to confirm, Mr. Biz, you are holding a bag of ORAI-chain, right?
Of course. I wouldn't be talking about anything if I didn't hold it. Why would I do that?
Yeah, if you can't buy it for yourself, you can't buy it for everyone else.
Why would I? Come on, man. Come on.
I'm surprised he hasn't talked about one project that he and I have been. I mean, I've been in since pre-sale.
Oh, you mean which one are you talking about, Coach?
Alliance Block, dude. Like,
ALB.
come on,
listen,
ridiculous.
Dude.
Brown is big ALBT guy.
Dump it.
Dump it.
Please.
You want more, right?
Listen, I'm not going to talk about ALBT because it's done a crazy run up, and I listen. If anybody knows me, anybody follows me on Twitter, I don't care how good the project is. I don't show the top. I won't do it. I won't do it. That doesn't mean I don't buy it, but I can in good faith show somebody the top. I can't do that.
As long as we tell our viewers, as long as we're transparent with our viewers about what we're holding and what we're not holding, I think that's enough for us. But yeah, this is, and I think very sensitive, specifically around projects that you work with. Whether you're enumerated in tokens, whether you're enumerated in any other way, you must make that known. Let's move on, Mr. Biz. All right, so we've spoken about Orichain. We've spoken about XRT. What's the next one?
The next one is 88 MPH. And this is a DeFi, decentralized finance coin, allows you to earn fixed API on any token with infinite liquidity, right? And there's a couple of bullish things about this.
What's the name of the project? What's the name of the project?
88 MPH. And I'm going to pull it up on CoinGecko right now.
Talk about this, actually.
88 MPH. This has gone so under the radar. $6 million market cap. I mean, if you look at that supply, good God almighty, that's, I mean, 206,000 circulating. These guys, they're devs. They actually helped work with Graph Protocol. I have a tweet right here. If you want to talk about bullishness, here's Graph Protocol congratulating 88 MPH on launching fixed rate lending on their mainnet, right? So here is what 88 MPH does. Lend your crypto assets at a fixed interest rate, earn upfront MPH and system rewards, right? And again, if you want to talk about bullishness, you talk about the market cap, talk about the supply. Graph Protocol, for those guys that don't know, this is a legitimate project. They got listed on Coinbase. They went on a massive exchange listing spree, right?
Graph is, in my opinion, one of the most important projects in the space. And when I say that, I
agree.
mean, obviously the base layer protocols are super important. I think, of course, the exchanges are super important. The wallets are super important. But then you've got this whole infrastructure that sits around and enables people to build meaningful applications on these protocols. Now, the Graph is a new token. It's a token that effectively indexes information, smart contract information, and it almost creates like a library, which allows app developers to access information very quickly when they need it to build better apps and better infrastructures. I've simplified it. I've dumbed it down because of the time that we have, but that's more or less what the Graph token does, or the Graph does. And for me, that is one of the most important things that we need if we're going to get mass adoption and mass building. I don't know if I would buy the Graph at a valuation of $500 million. I'm not sure
no. Then you buy an 88 MPH because the devs helped with Graph, right? And that's why I bring up 88 MPH.
You can't compare a lending protocol to a system, a fundamental system protocol.
You cannot, but you can judge the competency of the team, and that's where I invest in people, and I'm not to show my bags, but remember when I came on, I talked about Firm Network. Since last time I came on with Firm Network, I said I believe in Ian Friend. Now, what has Firm Network gone and done? In fact, the last year, it's probably one of the top 5 or 10 gainers, and people don't even know it's about to do 100x, about 3x away. And I know about it. Coach knows about it. Why did I invest in it? Because I know.
FRMX?
Oh yeah, off FRMX.
$3,000 an airdrop.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean, FRMX is also under the radar. But Rand, I know I'm not comparing projects, but the devs, again, you look at the teams. If the devs helped with Graph and the Graph is here congratulating them, when you rub shoulders with the big players, it kind of helps you, right? And so I'm using that to talk about the potential of this project, because what's another something that could cause it to be more in the spotlight is in January they have an audit report coming out and they are still a very low cap, right? And so again, look at the low cap, look at the supply.
What is the market cap there?
Under $7 million. $7
million. We have a question here from one of the people in the chat, and I want to talk about this question. He says, Algo or GRT, Graph token. Just for the other viewers or for everyone else on the chat, Algorand is a blockchain protocol. It was developed by effectively the brainchild of Silvio Micali, who's a very well-known and smart professor. It's a blockchain that has a a promise of a lot of big things to come. It's a blockchain that you can't fork. It's a blockchain that has a very high throughput, which is very fast. But again, my problem with blockchains is that I'm not sure that who's going to win. Ethereum is doing very well. Polkadot's doing very well. I don't know if there's much more space.
Cosmos. Let's talk about Cosmos, Adam. Yeah. That goes on the radar. And again, we're talking. People want to talk about. There's, to me, it's Ethereum, Cosmos, Polkadot, 88 Cardano. Come on, man. You guys are high school paper, man. Come on now. You guys are high school paper right now. You guys have done nothing. Look at the Polkadot ecosystem. Look at the bullishness around the ecosystem. Now you have the Polkadot DeFi Alliance. All right, you've got the Polkadot DeFi Alliance. You have all these new projects who every time they come to market, they want to build on Polkadot.
Where's the graphic? Where's the graphic with all the Polkadot applications? Just get a dart and throw a dart at your screen. Any bag it lands on, mark it by. Anytime.
Listen, guys. I mean, listen. If you want to buy my bags, fine. I'm gonna give you the advice. If you see a new project building on Polkadot, it will pump no matter what.
I would encourage you to do much more research on that. But I think just to answer James' question, me, definitely.
I'm stating a fact. I'm stating a fact. And if you look at the recent projects, Bondly pumped. If you look at the recent projects that built on Spider DAO, if you look at the projects that have associated themselves with Polkadot, right? Let's look at a small sample space. On TGE, I believe most people, if you bought these projects, if you waited after the private sale dump, you bought these projects, you could have done 2 to 3x. Whether you hold or not it's not up to me. Whether you hold or not, but if you're looking to make money, look to these projects when they list, right? Worst case scenario, you can make a 2-3x. Best case scenario, you hold. And you get yourself a Sora or a Kusama type project, right?
All right. I want to ask you a question, guys. I want to say to you. So first of all, let's answer James's question. Should you put your money in Algorand or in Graph? My vote is take your money out of Algorand, put it into Graph. Coach K, your vote is?
All your money? Graph's new and shiny. Graph, new and shiny. I would go with Graph because it's something that people still haven't really figured out what it does yet.
Mr. Biz, Algorand or Graph?
No, Graph. Algorand, come on, man. Who's talking about Algorand right now? You got to go with the narrative. Go with Graph. This is common sense here. You have to go with Graph.
Bitcoin Brown, I think I don't even have to hear your view here because we've got 3 yeses and no yeses for
GRT.
All right. We have another question here, and we have hundreds of questions here. VeChain. What do you guys think? Too expensive at the price?
I like it. I liked it when it did the Kumo Brigo retest. It's almost finished my trade that I had. So at this point, I wouldn't buy it now. I would wait for it to come back down first. But overall, like, it's got a huge market cap. So I already know what the other boys are thinking. Does it have, being a supply chain leader definitely can go a lot higher. But if you're looking to make crazy
I gotta disagree with you, Coach. Even though it's a high market cap, VeChain actually has real world adoption, man. VeChain, I mean, in terms of, you remember what they were doing with the luxury goods, right? In terms of making sure things are legitimate. To me, even though it is a high market cap, if somebody told me they want to buy VeChain, honestly, I couldn't say you could go. I can't say you could go wrong with that. It's one of the few respectable. We can say older projects that I think if you invested in it, I don't think you can go wrong with that. Honest to God.
I must say, I've looked at the VeChain project. I love the VeChain project. I think it solves a big problem which blockchain can solve, and that is the problem of supply chain. Effectively, it's going to put us all in a position where we can scan an item that we bought, and
100%
on the block.
The RFID stuff, guys, don't nobody talks about that stuff anymore. It's huge right now. I know we're talking about all these different plays, and I used to be a VeChain holder. I feel like an idiot, and I sold, back then. But I'm a firm believer. I think VeChain. I think out of the big caps, VeChain could be the biggest surprise. And I think, again, people not looking at these because they're not sexy picks anymore. A lot of
they get to all-time high.
Let's see, VeChain.
Didn't they have was it a redomination or a renomination or something? And the token calculation.
Remember, there's 2 tokens. ecosystem. So, I mean, the VeChain VET token has a market cap of $1.2 billion. And I mean, again, this has got real world adoption. I mean, they are doing a whole lot of luxury goods. They are doing a whole lot of basic goods. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I may have read somewhere that they're also doing or did a COVID project for one of the cruise liners to almost show where every person has been, when every person has been vaccinated, has had COVID, all the tests, etc., etc. So this is a
yes, they did that. They did do that.
Amazing tokenomics, amazing staking mechanics. I'm not going to go into it now because we are effectively completely out of time. But good tokenomics. Yeah, definitely one that I'd look at. But again, $1.2 billion market cap. Maybe
it actually hit all-time high. If you guys remember, the summertime, it was one of the few big caps. It hit the all-time high in August of 2020, right? So I don't look at that as a bad thing. That to me means, hey, this is one of the older coins that still, and if you want to call August the bear market, I know some people don't consider that, but let's say it technically was a bear market. It was able to come back and still pump in the bear market. I think, to me, that's a bullish sign for VeChain.
Right. I've got someone here on the chat that says, speaking of old coins, what about Neo?
The big accounts love Neo. The big accounts love Neo. That's all I gotta say. They want to keep selling Neo.
Yeah, there will never be a Neo run like before.
They will never be. Yeah, I mean,
it's done.
Yeah,
there's better stuff out there.
I bought Neo in 2017 when I think it went from Unchained to Neo, and I think then it had an amazing run. I think it 100x'd at one point. But I mean, we haven't heard much from them. Dao Hongfei, who was one of the founders and owns On-Chain Capital in China, or On-Chain Development House in China. I don't know so much if there's any good news. I know Flamingo Finance was launched on Neo. That didn't do anything. I mean, we had huge expectations. Neo went up. Yeah. I must say, I wouldn't. I think there's a lot better things to be buying. Coach K, I want you to give us a call. We've had Mr. Biz giving us call after call after call.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a few I'm looking at. One of the ones that was brought to my attention, it's DeFi on Bitcoin blockchain. It's called the DeFi chain. You guys should take a look into that. I think it's on Uniswap only right now, but quite interesting.
Coach, please give us the contract, Coach. Please give us the contract. Goodbye.
I'll give it to you right after the show for sure. I think it's wrapped in on Uniswap where I saw it, but I've been looking at this. One of my buddies in a fund was like, "You got to check this out. It's DeFi on Bitcoin." So I've been looking a little bit into that right now. Take a look at it. It's definitely done really, really well. It's kind of on maybe a little bit too high. It's up I think from a few cents to $1 or so. But look at this project and tell me how OGs are not going to go in and think, well, if we can do DeFi on Bitcoin, maybe that'll take some of the ETH market share. Maybe not. I don't really know. I'm not really the technial guy, so I couldn't.
Coach, with a hot take, DeFi on Bitcoin, hot take.
Hot take. Great team. I don't know the token. Here's one for you guys. Elrond, EGLD.
Oh, that's
love that.
That's a legitimate project.
Yeah.
All right. So currently trading at a market cap of $385 million. If you look at
from here, easy.
Yeah, if I look at the competitors, and competitors is a very big word here, but if I look at other projects doing similar things, you've got Cardano, which is way north in the billions. You've got EOS, which is above it, and I think that Elrond. And I've had some chats to him. I think the guys have been on my show, and I've also had some other chats with Benjamin. These guys are doing big things.
Isn't there the Samsung connection, right? Was there the Samsung connection? I swear there was something with Samsung.
I don't recall Samsung, but I know they are doing amazing things. They are going to make a few announcements. I guess, and they're very smart guys, and they seem to have a very engaged community. So I think for me, at $300 million, that is a buy in my mind. I don't know if this is the bottom, but certainly.
Well, it did. It went to all-time high a few days ago, right? Did it not?
Yes.
Right. So I think the thing that goes noticed is there. If you want to call it a rebrand to gold, it's one of those small things people don't realize. Well, now we're Elrond Gold. Maybe next year we'll see Elrond Platinum. I don't know what's going on with that, but I mean, people are bullish. A lot of people want to partner with Elrond. In fact, from my perspective, anytime I see a project work with Elrond, to me that gives them more credibility. I don't think I'd be buying right now, man. It would hit all-time high a few days ago. I would wait for a retrace. Coach, what do you think?
It's kind of on a retrace if you're looking at Bitcoin, the Bitcoin value versus on gold. And with Bitcoin kind of settling down and ETH starting to run, I would look potentially to get in soon. It's hitting right on the daily 200 EMA, and right around the Kijinsen. So it could have a nice bounce soon. So it could be one that you definitely should look at. It's a very good opportunity there.
I think it'd hit $1 billion market cap easy $1 billion market cap.
Easily. I think if they don't make any mistakes and they keep the current trajectory, and again, very important to say that they have what they claim they have, then this is definitely $1 billion market cap for me.
Easy.
I want to ask you guys a question. If I look at the DeFi sector today, or not even today, the whole weekend, if I look at Harvest, Pickle, YFI2, those tokens all took a big hit over the weekend while ETH was running. Now, the problem with that is that a lot of people have got stake tokens, and when ETH goes down and your stake token goes and your pair token goes down, not only do you lose in the pair token, but you also lose a lot in the impermanent loss, and you don't get the maximum upside of the ETH. Right. What's going on in the DeFi? What's going on in DeFi? Why is DeFi taking such a big hit?
Bitcoin.
This is no hit at all. Look at DeFi posts and just look at the TVL. This is moving, man. There's corrections every other week. It doesn't matter. We're going to be in hundreds of billions of dollars total value.
The DeFi coins seem like they get hit the hardest and they pump the hardest too, though. So when DeFi pumps, DeFi pumps hard, right? I don't think it's a big deal, honestly. I mean, I don't think it's a big deal to be saying that, the DeFi coins are going down. It could be people, it could be the XRP fear, it could be people FOMO into Bitcoin, right? There's a lot of things we can say. Why did certain things pump today, not pump today? I wouldn't look at it a big deal from a macro standpoint.
Fundamentally, nothing's wrong. Coach K, people are holding you to account here. Umi Watson says, Coach K, what's your opinion on UNN after what happened to Cover today, Elbow Cough?
Oh, man.
Well, I mean, Cover, they didn't really cover themselves. But what I'd say is that Union's a really good project. I know Brown's pretty big on Union. He likes the project. I think we all like the project here. And they came out and straight up said we're going to learn from their mistakes.
So what happened? What happened really to Cover? If I look at Cover's crashed 75% today. What happened to Cover?
I mean, what happened was they got hacked. Someone created, I think it was like 70 trillion coins, and basically started draining liquidity. And so obviously that destroyed the project. Another Andre Conj, no offense to him, another project that he's been involved with that just had a hack and got wrecked. So I'm kind of like, I kind of feel like a lot of those projects are amazing, but they also have they're not really well audited, or the auditors are using are not finding the problems. But I'm a little bit more weary of his projects, even though the snow.
I heard, Coach. Did you hear Andre's changing his name, man? He's going to change it to Andre Madoff. That's the
come on. Let's play. Let's play.
I think Union's going to do really well. Big team, strong backgrounds. I'm in it. To be completely honest, I'm in it. I'm in their Geyser. I think their Geyser program is awesome. They had, their own technical issues with their public sale, but I think insurance is going to be big. There's other protocols that are doing it. There's one that just came out called Insure, which is backed by some pretty big real world players. I can't remember the exact names of who they are.
Guys, I'm looking at insurance too, and I don't want to, I don't want to. I kind of feel like I know what Elio is going to talk about tomorrow because I'm a big fan of Elio. Shout out to Elio, man. That guy's legit. Bridge,
he believes that insurance.
Insurance to me, insurance. I saw Sergey from Phoenix tweet about insurance. How insurance industry is much bigger than even DeFi. How big the insurance sector? I think he said is 10x bigger. Potentially could be 10x bigger. He tweeted this, and I mean, right now, 2021, you're going to see so many. I guarantee you, so many new insurance projects come up, and they're probably going to.
You guys know a fact? I'll tell you a pretty interesting fact. Of the biggest blockchain companies that have invested in, 3 of them are in the top 10. 3 of them are actual real world insurance companies. One of them I think is Alliance. The other one,
Alliance is huge. Yep.
Yeah, there's the three of the biggest companies in the world.
There's a project coming.
I'm gonna
drop some alpha right now. I do my research. Yeah. There's a project coming out called Polka Cover. Guess where the guys have worked with? Alliance. These guys work with Alliance, and this is Again, you know, it's funny from DeFi. We're looking at guys coming from JP Morgan Chase and Morgan Stanley. Now we're looking at insurance companies. We're like, oh, AIG Alliance, and we're looking at, you know, which insurance companies did you come from? So this is this is going to be the next big wave, guys. What these insurance projects is going to be huge in 2021.
All right, guys, we're 20 minutes over time. Let's wrap this up. One or two more. Yeah, Mr. Biz, give us one or two more that you would be looking at if you haven't already given us what we need to be looking at.
Guys, I mean, right now, from a low cap standpoint, all right, I'm gonna drop one, man, and I didn't want to do this because I wanted to be more prepared, man. It's another Polkadot project, guys. Look at guys.
Stop.
This one might.
If you guys want the name,
this one might 10x. This one might 10x. So I have to drop this.
Wait, don't give out the name. If you guys want the name, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button.
Nobody's talking about this, and nobody's gonna see this coming. Nobody.
Hold on.
Nobody's gonna see this coming.
Show me.
Ready?
All righty, go for it.
Darwinia K-Ton. Gavin Wood mentioned them directly. The Rococo relay chain, they got all that stuff working already. They have a $3 million market cap with 50K supply. This is Darwinia. They're going to be creating bridges between all the networks. All right. Hold on 1 second. If you got a minute, I could pull it up for you right now.
All right. This has got a maximum supply of 51,000.
Right now, that's what the supply is. I'm going to just share my screen with you real quickly. I didn't want to give this one away, man, but you know, Rand, you know, I'm going to do it for you, man. You know, I'm going to do it for you. I'm going to do it for you. I'm going to do it for you. But if you're looking at Darwinia, right? If you want to look at what it's doing with
Bitcoin Brown, have you heard of this project?
Yeah, I have. It's something to do with Darwin Ring, right?
Well, they have Ring. So there's a Ring token, the K-Ton governance token. Yeah. You need to stake, I believe, I forget the number. So in order to even get K-Ton, you need to stake a very large number of Ring to just earn one K-Ton. K-Ton is a limited supply. If you look at what they're doing, they're connecting all these different chains, right? This is a bridge. You're connecting all these different types of ecosystems. And I'm not going to go into the full shill, but if you guys want to look at Darwin, and I don't want to take up too much time, if you guys want to look at Darwinia, look at Darwinia. They will be one of the first, guaranteed they're going to be one of the first to get a parachain. Gavin Wood spoke about them recently. In fact, out of all the projects he spoke about, Darwinia was the lowest market cap. It was because
that definitely falls into our small cap section. Mr. Biz, let me give you one more, and then we've really got to call it a day. We've gone way over the time we were supposed to. Thank you so much. This is really.
I got another one. This is a small cap NFT project, Terra Virtua, guys. Yeah. I believe Terra Virtua, guys. If there is ever NFT, this again, every other project can't compare to this. I'll tell you why. They have Legendary Films as a partner. They have Paramount. They have licenses with The Godfather. They have Godfather NFTs. These guys, again, if you know Legendary Films, they retweeted Terra Virtua. Legendary Films makes a lot of good movies. If you know Pacific Rim, they have NFTs for Pacific Rim. They have Top Gun again, and how do they get these? They work to get licenses with them. Drop us some alpha here. I spoke, we did an AMA with the team. They're trying to now go into sports. They're trying to get sports and they're trying to get comic books. If they can get comic book NFTs, guys, if they get comic book NFTs, guys, it's over.
So for those of you who don't know what the token is, it's I think TVK. Right?
TVK. Get it?
It's gonna go bonkers.
It is still super low cap, guys.
It is extremely low, guys. Extremely.
This one is. NFT season is coming. Okay, that's the next big thing. Insurance, NFTs, that's
$5 million.
Come.
Okay.
When that comes,
Rand, I love the guy who started this. Rand, I love the guy who started this. Mm-hmm. Gary Bracey. The guy helped license RoboCop, the video game. If you remember, for Nintendo, he helped license video games. He's a video game industry legend. And they have all these big partnerships. Again, how many of these NFTs can actually partner with Paramount Pictures, Legendary Film Studios, The Godfather? I mean, they have all these partnerships.
This has been absolutely incredible. In fact, this is why Banter was created. This is exactly this. We're bantering. We're talking about crypto. We're shilling. We're talking about our bags. I just have to remind our viewers here today, in this specific, in the entire show, but specifically in this low cap, small cap hunting section, you're dealing with very, 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 very high risk projects. They have very low market caps, and yes, of course, the upside is huge. But remember that you are dealing with small market caps, and that none of us here are financial advisors. We're only talking to you about the tokens that we have, and you guys are encouraged to do your own research before making any of these trades. This is definitely the riskier.
One last thing. We're not financial advisors. My theory is if I just give you 5 picks, one of them going 10x. But take that to the bank. One of these is going to 10x. Take that to the bank. One of these will go 10x. And if you want to manage a risk, you don't want to go all in, fine. Put a little bit in each one of them. All right. Then worst case scenario, 4 of them go to 0, 1 of them go to 10x. I think I'm saying that's the worst case scenario.
Mr.
All right.
Biz.
20. I gave you five of the best 10, 15 low caps that many people do not. I'm not shilling you the top, boys. I'm telling you projects that people don't know about. One of these is going 10x. Take that to the bank.
Absolutely. All right. Which one of these is going 10x, guys? Which one? Here I am. I've got $10,000 that I want to invest. I can only invest in one. I don't believe in breaking them. Am I going into Katon? Am I going into TVK? XRT.
Or Rye.
All right.
MPH.
So which one? Come on. Which one?
My money would
be asking me?
I'm going in TVK. All in TVK with $10,000.
Ooh, man. If I have to go all in, good. I can't answer that. I'm one of those guys. I'm one of those guys. I'm one of those guys, man. I love all my. It's like my kids. I love all my bags. You're asking which one of my favorite kids. I can't answer that. I'm sorry. Can't answer that.
I have 3 kids, and I can definitely answer which one.
I've only got one kid, and I don't want another kid because I'm just for that reason.
Let me make it even more simple for you, Mr. Biz. You have 4 tokens on one on each wallet. One is Katon, one is TVK, one is Ori, one is XRT, one is MPH. You got 5. They're in different corners of your house. You wake up at 2:00 in the morning. Your house is burning down. You can only take one. Otherwise, you get burnt as well. Which one is it?
Well, that's an easy question then, because see, I know everybody wants to go to the moon, but I'm trying to go to Mars, so I'm going with XRT.
You're going with XRT. All right, Bitcoin Brown. Bitcoin Brown. You gotta invest
is anybody else trying to do blockchain on any other planet other than Earth? That's like
the question I have for you though is that really going to matter or be relevant in the next 5 years for people? That's the only thing.
Yes, it is because robotics. If we want to collect data from Mars, if you want to collect ecosystems, this is real world stuff. This is stuff that people pay billions and billions of dollars for. This is stuff that we as human beings we want to learn about. So this is not XRP trying to say, oh, we're going to do cross-border payments. This is XRP is trying to go to the moon. We're not trying to go across. I'm not trying to go across the other country to send $10. I'm trying to go to the moon to figure out what the lifestyle, what the life forms there are on Mars, and they're going to help do that. And they're getting grants to do that.
When are they going to do that? Do you have any idea of like the time frame of that? Because just to go to Mars takes years, right? So just trying to keep in perspective of like for the next year or 2 years, what would be the best one we'd go into?
I would probably say within the next. I haven't looked at it. I would probably say within the next 2 years they can do that. I can legitimately say they can probably do that within the next 2 years.
Elon.
Even, by the way, guys, XRT was the first one of the first Polkadot projects in 2015. So this is like the flagship project of the Polkadot ecosystem. To me, if you believe in Polkadot, how can you not own XRT? Because Kusama. Again, this is in conjunction with Kusama, right? And Kusama is going to be big now because we're getting parachains on Kusama. XRT is helping them. XRT is also helping Polkadot. People don't know about this. What's happening Polkadot with their relay chains, giving them advice. And as I said, Sergey, the developer, the guy went to he was at the UN talking about IoT devices. They're going to have millions of IoT devices in the next 2 years. They're going to be a competitor to Azure and Google. So they have so many different facets for them.
You're saving the wallet with XRT. Bitcoin Brown, I'm going to let you go. I want to say to Bitcoin Brown, it's been amazing to have you. I know that you've gone out of your way to be with us here today. Thank you so much for coming on Crypto Banter. Thank you for all you guys doing the space. I want to bring in Adrian Bashuk because Adrian Bashuk, as you know, he goes through the social airwaves. He puts his finger on the pulse, tells us what's happening in the social. Adrian, are you around?
I'm here, buddy.
All right, so Adrian, you've now heard what all the traders, and these guys are, influential in all the Telegram groups. You've kind of heard what they've been talking about. What else is happening in the social airwaves?
Been a lot. Bitcoin kind of hit over 27,000 this weekend. Kind of a big deal. Let's take a look at that and see what some of the big names in the space really are talking about that, because we can't overstate it. I mean, Bitcoin went up 24, 25, 26, 27,000. This is, unprecedented territory. Whether or not there's a big pullback or there's we just keep going up is everybody's big question, and that's what everybody is asking. Your guys' thoughts, real quick?
Oh yeah, Bitcoin wise, I mean, I don't think it's going to stop until after the holidays. Right now, this is a rally completely it's orchestrated by retail FOMO. This is a FOMO rally from retail.
100%. 100%.
There is no funds in play. They all took their money. They're still on vacation. They're not back. The hedge funds, the VCs, they're chilling. They do that every year. And I said on one of my videos, I said it probably will cause a Christmas pump because no one's able to go anywhere and sit on a beach and chill. They're bored at home and they're trading. And what does that cause? It causes a retail FOMO pump. So we could even go to 30K. I really think it's possible.
And actually, to talk about something that's gone under the radar, BlackRock is getting a VP to drive their cryptocurrency demand. That is the world's largest asset manager, guys. Why are we not talking about this? That is so bullish.
So let's understand this, because this is big news. So it says BlackRock seeks VP blockchain lead to drive demand for firms' crypto offerings. Okay, which means that they're not going to do what MicroStrategy did and buy and hold Bitcoin. Then let's look a little bit deeper into what they said, because I think this is where the magic lies. And it says, okay, obviously it reiterates that they've got 7 trillion under management, which is chump change in the big scheme of things. It says candidates should be able to devise and articulate fundamental valuation methodologies for crypto assets, evaluate game theory, and decentralizing governance models associated with blockchain technology. What I'm reading here is that these guys are looking to do DeFi and derivatives. When you start talking about evaluating game theory and decentralized governance models, that's not talking about Bitcoin. That's talking about crypto. That's talking about creating crypto derivatives products. That is, for me, where the magic or where the nuggets lie here.
Right. And again, as it shows in the screenshot, the CEO of BlackRock essentially is bullish on Bitcoin, right? Mm-hmm. It could be, he said, what did he say? It could be a global asset, right? And so this was I think a few weeks ago. These are things that have gone under the radar. Guys, we're small fish. The institutional investors are the guys that are driving Bitcoin. I think we can all agree Bitcoin's going to go to 100,000, right? All right. Some point. And I think Rand, you said you think Ethereum is going to go to 10,000. I absolutely agree with that. If Bitcoin's going to 100,000, Ethereum's definitely going to 10,000. Look, don't, and again, I don't own Bitcoin. I do have Ethereum. And again, I have people who work on Wall Street. I know a lot of these guys in the funds. Ethereum is going to be the next big thing that all these guys look at. Ethereum right now has so much room to grow. And I think even on the East Coast, I live in New York. New York is so far behind Silicon Valley. I think Silicon Valley's Bitcoin, Ethereum, heck, I think they're even onto Polkadot now. We're in New York. They don't even know what Ethereum, what the potential Ethereum has.
So I break up the crypto space into 3 parts. The first part for me is Bitcoin. Bitcoin for me is compared to gold. And I think that when we compare Bitcoin to gold, we're doing Bitcoin the biggest injustice in the world. And let me explain to you why. Typically, when people do Bitcoin valuations, what they're basically saying is they compare it as a percentage of gold's market cap. And they're saying if gold's got 11 or 10 or 12 trillion dollars market cap, and if Bitcoin can only get 10% of that, then it's a $1.3 trillion asset. But let's not forget that gold is not programmable. Gold is very heavy and difficult to move. Now, when you remove those 2 things and you say, look, you can now program Bitcoin, and there's lots of smart contract platforms on Bitcoin or supporting platforms on Bitcoin. The second thing is gold is not a payment mechanism. You cannot pay doing gold, and most currencies in the world today aren't backed by gold anymore. In fact, I'm not sure that any currencies today are really backed by gold. So by comparing Bitcoin to gold, I think we're doing it an injustice. And I think that in my mind, when everyone says, oh, if it can only reach gold's market cap, I think it's going to go 10x gold's market cap. I think that it's going to replace gold as a store of value. I think it's going to become
programmable. It already has. In many circles, it already has. Amongst
it's going to become programmable money. It's going to become programmable money. And it's going to be, at some point, if Lightning Network or something else works, also become real money, transaction money. You take that together, it becomes somewhere between gold and all the currencies in the world. And that, for me, is super exciting. The second part of my thesis is that Ethereum for me is a $10,000 coin. And I don't know if it's going to happen now in this bull run or the next bull run, but ultimately, the parallel financial system is being built on Ethereum. Billions and billions and billions of dollars are going into derivatives, and derivatives usually are 100x the underlying minimum. And so for me, those two get separated. And then underneath that, you've got a third asset class, which is what I call crypto venture capital. So for me, it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, and everything else for me is crypto venture capital. And then you can find segments like file storage, like computing, like money, like store of value, like DeFi, and decide what you want to invest in. And I think we haven't even started. But I see that Adrian's here. Adrian's been waiting for us, and we have gone half an hour over time. Adrian, let's go back to the socials.
The socials, people are talking. As I said, we saw Bitcoin cross 25K, and what did it do? It became the largest financial service offering by market cap. Our good friend Hartej tweeted this out, overtaking Visa, overtaking JP Morgan Chase, MasterCard, PayPal, Bank of America, and then all the Chinese and even Japanese companies, China Construction Bank, Bank of China, SoftBank. I mean, this is a major, major deal. Whether or not it's going to retrace, because I'm always looking for a pullback. I'm always scared of suppressive market actions here, so always be prepared for a pullback. Don't get
hold on
for it.
Don't run away from this tweet, because I think this tweet says a lot of things. I mean, first of all, if you think about, these are all the people that were talking badly about Bitcoin. Visa was talking badly about Bitcoin in 2017. JP Morgan, I mean, we don't need to say anything. In fact, I always keep this on my desktop to remind me that today I'm giving you a finger, and it's not the thumbs up, it's a different finger, to say that Bitcoin is better. Look at the column on the far right-hand side, which says country. So under all of them, they have one country: USA, China. Bitcoin, worldwide.
Prestige, worldwide.
Yep. And a lot of people are saying, watch out for China, let's say, confiscating Bitcoin from miners. What's it going to do? I think that has a lot to play. And if you look at this tweet from Bitcoin critics, Bitcoin went straight from 58.86 to 28,000 after this statement on 60 Minutes. And this was a Federal Reserve governor. There's an infinite amount of cash in the Federal Reserve, and we see those stimulus checks going out. The minute the stimulus bill was signed by Trump yesterday, hey, there was another bump in the price action. Something to watch, something to keep tabs of in 21.
If you notice, gold didn't pump this time. We thought gold would also pump when Trump finally signed the stimulus. Gold went up just a little bit and came straight back down. It kind of says that people are much more excited about Bitcoin at the moment.
Yeah, and I think also something to really watch out for in 21, and especially as soon as the Biden administration comes in, is obviously these essential airdrops, right, of government printed money and what that's doing. But the machinations behind the Democratic leftist activists who are going to be experimenting with UBI. You see Andrew Yang filing to run for mayor in New York. There's going to be some sort of crypto crossover, stable coinish, DeFi collateral experimentation with UBI. Mark my words, it's going to be the next government experiment of the next 10 years. And let's see how crypto gets involved or suppressed, because we saw regulations being talked about last week. Just keep an eye on it.
Yeah. All righty, let's go to the next one. I'm also going to pull up a tweet which I loved over the weekend. I'm just looking for it. I did save it somewhere. But Adrian, take us to the next one.
Ethereum. You've got Novogratz tweeting, ETH is having one hell of a year. A quick shout out to Ethereum Joseph and Vitalik. People talking about ETH. Last time ETH was at 700, people were buying it to speculate on ideas. Koopa Troopa saying this time network usage is soaring thanks to a flourishing ecosystem of DeFi, NFTs, social tokens. Don't bet against traction. Here's some alpha. Buy some ETH.
I agree. You cannot. ETH is just beginning. It's a momentum. It's got the network effect. It's got the smartest people in the world building on it. And we've been to DevCon. Adrian and I have been to DevCon many times. We've met the Ethereum community. You've never seen as many smart people in one room at one time. I don't even think that NASA has as many smart people in one room at one time. And the surrounding of that is that you got the venture capitalists there. And the venture capitalists are there throwing money at people building on Ethereum. These young, geeky type people who are building these new protocols. And you got these guys that you could see used to wear suits and now wear T-shirts and shorts. And, you can see that they're much more comfortable in suits, but they're wearing their T-shirts and their shorts. And they're trying to network by wearing branded shirts. And these are the guys that are investing in the ETH community. Definitely can't ignore it. I think that ETH is way more exciting than Bitcoin at the moment. I think Bitcoin is king.
100%. ETH has so much sex appeal.
I had an argument on Facebook just yesterday or 2 days ago when I said, stop telling noobs to go into Bitcoin right now and tell them to go and look at ETH. And people
100%.
were arguing, oh, Bitcoin's always a good time to buy. And I said, listen, it's close to its top. It's going to definitely come and have a correction at some point soon, even if it's 30K. Ethereum's not even close to all-time high yet.
It's 2x plus from all-time high. 2x plus.
Yeah. I'd say to wrap up, because we've covered so many alt positions. Thank you guys, and thank the community for bringing all your calls and your research and your insights. It's huge to have this in one place where people can gather and talk and banter. We've talked about Bitcoin being king, ETH as the world's supercomputer, and we saw a lot of talk of ETH hitting 700. We've hit 700. We saw a lot of people say, well, ETH, when's it going to get to its all-time high, 1,400 to 2K? We're waiting on that. And now I've seen in the last just weekend, people are calling for this kind of number in the sky of 10,000 for Ethereum. Keeping that in check, though, is that we don't have a clear supply of Ethereum. So keep that in check. But that number is out there now. It's in the
doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. For Ethereum supply doesn't even matter.
It doesn't matter. I agree. It doesn't matter. Because
let me tell you, a few days ago, Ethereum went to 550. It went up almost $200 in a few days. Think about that. I mean, that's ridiculous. It fell to 550 a few days ago when everybody panicked sold, right? And we've got what, a 40% increase in a few days? Come on, that's crazy.
Let me throw something at you. So I think now we've had blockchain and we've had blockchain surrounding infrastructure. So we had blockchain, and then we had oracles, and we had wallets, and we had exchanges, and we have layer 2, and we have all of that. And then that led to an interesting new thing called DeFi. That's the whole world of decentralized finance. And that led to something which is incredible, which is staking. Real staking to provide liquidity, staking for rewards.
Right.
And that took us to a brand new space, which excites me, which I think is going to be, in my investment thesis, it goes blockchain, supporting infrastructure, DeFi, NFTs. Because for me, the NFT space, when NFTs start to replace gifts, online gifts in video gaming, when NFTs go and start to replace real world gifts, and all of a sudden, whenever you buy a diamond, it's accompanied by an NFT, which is not a diamond certificate, but it's a story. It's a story about a thing. And when you buy a wine, you also get, you have one bottle of wine, which costs $3,000, but you also get an NFT, which is a personalized story of the wine and a story of the chateau and whatever else. And when you buy the wine, when you finish consuming the wine and you throw away the bottle, you still hold the NFT for the wine. Now, when you start to talk about that world, I think that that's $1 trillion industry. I don't have the stats, but for me, NFTs, when DeFi, or as part of DeFi maybe, but for me, what I'm looking at now is I'm looking at NFTs and I'm saying, I've got money in DeFi. A big portion of my portfolio is already in DeFi. The next allocation of my portfolio is going to be a massive play into NFTs. I think probably even as much as 20% of my portfolio is going to be in NFTs at the end of it. Now, when I say 20% of my portfolio, probably 20% of my portfolio is in Bitcoin, 20% of my portfolio is in Ethereum, 20% of my portfolio currently is in all the other Cardanos, Polkadots, all the next level chains. I've got 20% in DeFi and related, and I think the last 20% that I've got, I'm going to go all into NFTs and related. Now, typically when I do these kind of investments, I don't do them immediately, because the first vintage, the first round of NFTs, and if we look at it, let's look at Wax Token. Wax Token was probably, the first iteration of NFTs. Now, at the time, there was a lot of excitement about it. That went to 70 cents. It went to a huge market cap. And then it came down. And today, if you look at Wax Token, I mean, it's around, but it's certainly not one of the most exciting projects in the space. And that's why I say I'm probably over the next year, 2 years, 3 years, going to allocate 20% of my portfolio to NFTs. I think that's an area that's going to explode. I think Elio, who's coming on our show tomorrow, is going to say exactly the same thing.
And there you go, Ryan. I think that's a great point to leave it off, and you can take us out and into the rest of the week, because there's going to be a lot to talk about all week long.
It has been. It's been an amazing banter, guys. I want to thank you. Coach K, have a great year. Thank you for coming on. And Mr. Biz, thank you for sharing wisdom. Adrian, we'll see you again tomorrow, but thank you again for everything.
Thank you, guys. It's a pleasure.
For the station. To our viewers, to the people in the chat, I see all of you. Thank you, and thank you. Damon W, Ragav, E Monty, Jerry, I see all of you. Thank you. You guys make the show. We're here for you. We're gonna drop on you. If you want more stuff, go to our Telegram group. Our Telegram group is very, very lively. Just look up Crypto Banter on Telegram. It's a very, very lively group. It does focus a lot on what's happening now. It does happen a lot on the small caps. I'm going to try and get Cover Protocol to come on the show tomorrow. We've got Charles Hoskinson on the show tomorrow. We have Elio Trades coming on the show tomorrow. So really, really, really a big day. And on a day like today, I must again remind you, and it's not only when we talk about the small caps, but actually when we talk about everything on the show, we are not financial advisors. And in fact, let me play you a full disclaimer as what the legal team like us to do.
Crypto Banter is a social podcast for entertainment purposes only. All opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers should not be construed as financial advice. Views expressed by guests and hosts do not reflect the views of the station. Listeners are encouraged to do their own research.
Alrighty, that's the end of our show. We'll see you all again tomorrow, same time, same place, 10 a.m. EST, right here on CryptoBanter.com.